Well, if you actually go on Discord and you grab up our list in the Cineplex of the Liminexus Hyperstation, you'll see the full list, and I will read it out to you now. Jaws, Back to the Future, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, Independence Day, The Men in Black, The Fugitive, Gremlins, Twister, Jurassic Park, Speed, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, Signs, The Mummy, Hooper, Eyes Wide Shut, Face/Off, Hancock, Batman Returns, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Do the Right Thing, Dunkirk, District 9, Saving Private Ryan, The Rock, The Killer, Hero, Waterworld, Heaven Can Wait, Sister Act, and on July 31st, every single movie in the Mission Impossible franchise as one unbroken chain.
That is gonna be a beast.
So if you are looking forward to any of that, I highly encourage you to tune in. Ang Lee's Hulk did not make the list. I had 31 days to fill, and I had to be selective. I had to spread what do people expect, what do people want, were actually released during the summer. Because a lot of really popular action movies and stuff, they didn't release in the summer, so they're not a summer blockbuster. They might have been a hit during the fall, but that's not a blockbuster. And they might have, been a blockbuster, but they were a December blockbuster. Those winter blockbusters, they really get people going.
So, hold on. What is the definition of a blockbuster?
I'm glad you asked, and I will answer on July 6th with The Fugitive. That is with the streamers Varakis and Aleski FM are my co-hosts for that Monday night. And Varakis asked that same question, and I went into a pretty substantial explanation.
I've always just wondered
The short answer is a blockbuster is a movie that expects to make a lot of money. And a studio has a certain formula to draw in crowds. And that formula, that expectation, is called a blockbuster.
So there's no block that is being broken. What is... I was under the impression that there's some sort of
There's an etymology. There's an etymology.
Well, I suppose when the time comes, I will simply have to learn what the hell that is. Yeah. The etymology, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Have you merged up our chats?
Great point. I will now.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
So we have a special event tonight, mostly because the game we were going to play was prohibitive in making it co-op, even though it is advertised as a co-op game and people have successfully played it before in a cooperative fashion. It involves some arcane technology that is no longer commonplace for the PC gamer, and there have been some hardware changes between when this game was launched and now that make it difficult to achieve. Simply because ISPs have obscured and obfuscated and become obstacles in this process.
Yeah, they sure as shit ain't making it any easier.
We were going to play Divine Cybermancy. which in itself, we were going to play a different game, and I misread the dates, and the thing we were going to play it for releases tomorrow, not today. So the compromise failed, and this is the compromise of the compromise, but it's still going to be fun. I've been looking forward to doing a stream like this for a while. Not this specific subject, but the type of thing, and I'm glad we're finally getting the chance.
It is thematically something I'm interested in, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I am going into this utterly blind. I don't really know what to expect. I have here a PDF and a dream.
Speaking of the PDF, it should be on your screen right here, right now. Thank you, Val, but you can't hear him now, yes? I hope so. Great. Let's go ahead and do this thing. Okay, so you are looking at right now the cover art of I would call this a zine. They did not call it a zine at the time. I would definitely call it a zine. That is me in the future looking at this with my future context and deciding that it fits into this category that I'm familiar with. But we all kind of do that when we investigate history, don't we? We make judgments based on our context. We create associations based on our expectations. And they have helpfully labeled this monstrosity as GHOD, so we know that this is God. And the organization is the Ozark Science Fiction Association. This is their press. This is their publishing vehicle. If you make it into this magazine, then you're the real deal. You've been officially published. Congratulations, you can call yourself a professional writer. Because they did. They paid for these. It was a monthly publication. They actually lasted for at least a year, if I remember correctly. And this particular issue became very famous because within it is published Eye of Argon. For some of you who are going to end up watching this, you already know what Eye of Argon is. For the rest of you, you're left confused. Maybe even scared? But have no fear. I will help. I will situate you within space and time.
So immediately I'm noticing it says anyone caught gnawing on this zine or its contents will get agnuitis?
Agnuitis. Mm-hmm.
What the fuck is what is agnuitis?
Do you know about the loathsome creature called Agnew?
Let's assume I don't. What?
Well, Agnew, or Spyro Agnew, was the 39th Vice President of the United States. He was the Vice President under President Richard Nixon. And if you know the reputation of Nixon,
okay.
then his head flunky, you might also realize, has himself a rather poor reputation.
So when you said Agnew, I did know there was a politician by that name. I assumed we were when you said foul, wretched beast, Agnew, I thought maybe this was like another equally esoteric piece of, but no, it's just the Spiro Agnewitis. Okay. I thought maybe asking a question.
Agnew was widely mocked, and he was loathsome. He was widely he was associated with in certain ways, the KKK, with several controversies. He tried to take like a weirdly centrist position on the grounds of civil rights, whereas like, of course they have legitimate grievances, but the militant tactics and the rights that they inspire are blah 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 blah, etc., right?
Okay, so what are we know what the symptoms of Agnew-itis are? I'm just, like I said, I was trying to, I hope maybe I could like ground myself in the fantasy that's already being shown here by maybe, but really, if anything, I'm more disoriented by some a disease associated with I'm a little bit stun locked, I guess.
Well, at the time, one of the big things, when he was offered up as the nomination for the vice president, he did not have national fame. He had regional fame. And so at the Republican convention, commentators were trying to make guesses about what kind of what Agnew meant. And one of the jokes that landed and really stuck with people is, well, it must be some kind of disease to be, you come down with Agnew, right?
Okay, so there is context for why they'd say Agnew-itis. It wasn't just inexplicably some pre-proto meme associated with the scene. This is a artifact of its time, then. Okay.
Yes, it's an artifact of its time.
Okay, no, that tracks a bit more. That grounds me somewhat. Okay,
if you have Agnew, or if you have Agnew-itis, you become this wretched creature, much in the way Agnew himself was thought to be like this loathsome. This is not my commentary. Almost subhuman, like troglodyte individual, coming up from the swamps to befoul your crops and curse the land or whatever.
Okay, I follow.
Okay, so now that that's settled, don't gnaw the zine, or it'll go bad for you. You can do whatever else you want to it, but don't put it in your mouth. Which is just generally good advice.
Well, hold on. They never said you couldn't put it in your mouth. They said just don't gnaw on it. So if I, swallow it whole...
nibble, or if you chew, or if you...
Like I unhinge my jaw like a snake swallowing a big old hot dog. That's okay. I won't be stricken.
Do you think a snake could eat a hot dog?
I think a snake would love a hot dog.
I think it would have trouble.
Whenever
a snake tries to eat another snake, it's usually an ordeal. They'll do it, but it's involved.
My money's on if you had like a medium-sized, like a few feet long snake, and you offered it a choice between a hot dog, a dead rat, and like some ground up hamburger, I bet it would enjoy the hot dog the most.
I don't know that they'd be able to register any of those as like viable prey. They wouldn't know it's food. Because it's not warm and wriggling.
I'll just have to teach it by like demonstrating how to unhinge my jaw and eat a yummy hot dog. That's the approved method, for the record.
Yeah, those creatures are hard to train. But I believe in you. Whenever you get film of a snake eating a hot dog, can you send it to the inbox and I'll put it up on the signal?
Naturally. The research on this subject is ongoing, but will surely yield fruit soon.
Perfect. So this story that we're about to read became quite infamous. You could consider it having gone viral before, way before there was a telecommunications network capable of sustaining such a thing. This is pure word of mouth, passing across state lines, country borders, to become a phenomenon. People would photocopy it, people would transcribe it into their own writing, people would type it on their typewriters and mail it to each other. It started showing up in science fiction conventions when those were rather small and had very poor reputations. And it eventually became a staple of SF convention life, where you would go, there would be people in costumes, there might be like minor sci-fi media celebrities. You could probably get some like fan works or whatever. Have a chat with a bunch of fellow geeks and nerds, and there would be a panel where people would read The Eye of Argon. Eventually, the author himself got in on the joke. He wrote this and had it published when he was 16 years old. So it was a bit of a blow at first, and then he got a little older, and once you look back on it, you're like, yeah, well, everyone does something really, embarrassing when they're 16. People seem to love my embarrassing thing that I did at 16. They really love when I get up there and I read it dramatically with everyone. And he made it like a little thing that he could joke around with and pal around with and be proud of, that he was involved in this like way that people connected. I think a lot of people, when they read this, they see some part of themselves, their creative output, their interests when they were like a weird teenager. And so it's not entirely mocking, or at least it's not mocking the author, it's mocking this phase of socially awkward development, It's as much mocking themselves and their past as it is anyone else's. There is a way to read this. It has come to be known as Eye of Argon style. You read other works Eye of Argon style. It is shorthand for this rule set, as it were. Rule number 1. Give honest effort in reading the story. Make it the highest quality you can have. Pretend you are reading the work that you respect the most in the entire world, and give it the same gravitas and respect. 2. If you laugh, you're out. If you stumble on grammar, or delivery, or word choice, you're out. It goes to the next reader. Rule number 3. When you run out of readers, everyone's back in. It only stops when Eye of Argon is done.
Okay. That I didn't expect there to be a rule set, but you know what? I will rise to the challenge, and surely I will, I don't suppose defeating you is really inside the rule set, but you know what? I'm going to read as though that was my goal. So, yeah.
You have no hope. Cold reading is one of my marketable skills.
We'll see.
Get ready to get crushed.
Keeping score isn't exactly possible, given that it'd be 1-1, and then we're back. 1-1, then we're back.
Oh, I think there is a way to keep score.
Okay.
Who reads more of this without fucking up?
Okay. I'm not sure how we would, grade that, but I'm down to give it a shot. Maybe
Pages.
just by
Pure
paragraph?
pages.
Pure pages! Okay. Alright.
Oh, do you think you're not good enough to go an entire page,
Well, I
Indigo?
don't really know what I'm getting into. So, no, fine. You know, I don't fuck around at the fuck arounds. Buy pages then.
All right, well, I went into this thinking we would do a co-op game, and Indigar has declared war. So it seems like we're doing our first ever competitive multiplayer Monday.
I'm gonna win. Just so we're clear.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Okay. So a quick explanation of what we are looking at right now. This is the mascot of OSFA. As you can see, it is quite artfully rendered. I imagine that the proportions and the perspective is faithful, and God, with an H, is a twisted, terrible beast that goes between third dimension and second dimension and fourth dimension, the same way that one of us might wave our arm through the air. We have also just some art that someone was proud that they did. Has nothing really to do with what we're getting into. But here's the first page. And it is going to be as difficult for us to read as it is for you to see. You might actually have a better view on these letters than I do, because it is washed out and there's some photocopy damage. And it looks like the ink tape for the typewriter originally was not exactly, full of ink, but we press on anyway. The Eye of Argon by Jim Theus. The weather-beaten wound ahead into the dust-racked climes of the barren land, which dominates large portions of the Norgolian Empire. Age-worn hoofprints, smothered by the sifting sands of time, shone dully against the dust-spattered crust of earth. The tireless sun cast its parching rays of incandescence from overhead, halfway through its daily revolution. I'm taking a moment to step aside. You are encouraged to comment, to poke fun, to try to knock me off my perch, to force me to laugh, and so on and so forth throughout the reading of this tale. That goes for Dindigar, and it also goes for any of our viewers in the chat. I, while reading, have to take this deadly seriously. The rest of you are free. Small rodents scampered about, occupying themselves in the daily accomplishments of their dismal lives. Dust sprayed over 3 heaving mounts in blinding clouds, while they bore the burdensome cargoes of their struggling overseers. "Prepare to embrace your creators in the Stygian haunts of hell, barbarian!" gasped the first soldier.
You say it in a gasp? Because that didn't really sound like a gasp to me. I don't know what a gasp sounds like.
Prepare to embrace your creators in the Stygian haunts of hell, barbarian! Gasped the first soldier. How was that?
That was breathy enough. That probably counts.
Only after you have kissed the fleeting stead of death, wretch. Stead? Well, then that's what's written.
That's like a house.
Returned Grigner.
Wouldn't it be steed? Fleeting? Fleeting? Okay, so fleeting is like, it's moving like away from you specifically. A stead is... Yeah, welcome in, Carl Johnson Portal.
Tread?
Stead is, I think, like homestead, right? That's like a a stead's like a property. A steed's like a horse. That makes more sense with fleeting. What does that mean?
I think they meant tread, and they wrote stead. That's what I'm going with.
That's 2 characters. Okay. It says you're a first-time chatter for some reason, but I recognize the name. Oh,
Voices
thank you.
of the Void. That was a real classic.
I'm probably going back to it. They updated it again, so that's not for right now.
You said that with so much fatigue.
I like Voices of the Void. I'm wondering if people are tired of it. I could just keep playing it. New account because Twitch is dumb. Okay, well, welcome in one way or another. We are currently reading Eyes of Argon. I played some of the new controls, and it's cumbersome. I'll say that much.
A sweeping blade of flashing steel riveted from the massive barbarian's hide enameled shield.
We didn't get after Wretch. You didn't say the guy's name.
Yes, I did.
Did you?
Returned Grigner.
Grigner. Okay.
Well, how
that's
would
fine.
you say it?
Grignier.
There's no I there.
Okay, well,
There's no I there.
agree to disagree. Continue.
Welcome in, Jan. A sweeping blade of flashing steel riveted from the massive barbarian's hide-enameled shield as his rippling right arm thrust forth, sending a steel-shod blade to the hilt into the soldier's vital organs. Wow, that's a long sentence. The disemboweled mercenary crumpled from his saddle and sank to the clouded sward.
Sward. Sward. Clouded what
Sward.
the fuck? Clouded steel-shod blade. As if it would be shod in anything else. The
Maybe
implication...
it's copper on the inside.
It's copper core, steel... What the fuck? What does that mean? Okay, sorry. Okay. Clouded sward.
Well, a sward is a land covered with grassy turf.
Okay, I assumed it was some insane way
He
of
didn't want
talking
to say
about the sword.
meadow. No, he didn't want to say meadow, so he said sward.
Okay, continue.
Sward. Fuck, I'm trying to... Sprinking the parched dust.
Sprinking?
Like... Alright, so it's your paragraph. Go ahead.
Do I have to start from the beginning of the paragraph?
Oh, hell yes.
A sweeping blade of flashing steel riveted from the massive barbarian's hide-enameled shield as his rippling right arm thrust forth, sending a steel-shod blade to the hilt into the soldier's vital organs. The disemboweled mercenary crumpled from his saddle and sank to the clouded sward, sprinkling to the parched dust with crimson droplets of escaping life fluid.
I hate it when my life fluid escapes.
Yeah, keep
It's so messy.
Yeah, that has like a designated place where it belongs, and it's not on the clouded sward. The
Well, I can think of
enthused
two places it
barbarian.
can end up.
Oh, god damn it!
Oh, yeah, baby! One paragraph for Dendi. The enthused barbarian swiveled about, his shock of fiery red hair tossing robustly in the humid air currents.
Robustly?
As he faced
What?
the attack of the defeated soldiers' fellow in arms. Yeah,
Robust.
Robustly.
I'm sorry. So Space Station has permanently changed the meaning of robust in I can't not think of it in Space Station 13 parlance. I just the barbarian is so robust that even his hair is robust. Okay.
Yeah, you don't want to tangle with this barbarian.
If he's got a fucking toolbox, you are fucked.
We have been doing Portal 2.
Yes. It was pretty fun. I quite like Portal 2.
I embarrassed myself almost every single episode by getting so tilted at Portal 2. Oh my god, this jam. Check that out.
We did technically complete all of Portal 2's co-op missions.
We did technically complete all of. I had to tell Dindy, no, we're doing 6. We're doing this optional one. We have to. But we did get to the end of it, yeah. We didn't do all of the like co-op achievements, which I wanted to accomplish, but.
All right, do go on.
Damn you, barbarian! Hold on, I need to shriek it, right? Damn you, barbarian! Shrieked the soldier as he observed his comrade in death. A gleaming scimitar smote a heavy blow against the renegade's spiked helmet, bringing a heavy cloud over the accordion's misting brain. Okay, that one counts. I wasn't expecting to hear the fire spell.
That... Oh, I know how I can win this. Permanently.
You fucker.
I'm a genius. I'm a fucking absolute genius. Alright.
He's got like the most channel points of anyone who watches my shit. This is gonna be so bad.
Yeah, but it'll push me permanently away from the loving grasp of whatever the fuck promotion is. Heavy burden do I carry.
Are you really ready to give that up?
I will see.
Cambot's special surprise that no one has yet claimed?
I'll get to it eventually. A gleaming scimitar smote a heavy blow against the renegade's spiked helmet, bringing a heavy cloud over the accordion's misting brain. Shaking off the effects of the pounding blow to his head, Grignir brought down his scarlet-streaked edge against the soldier's crudely forged hauberk, clinging harmlessly to the left side of his opponent. The soldier's stead whinnied. Okay, it is supposed to be steed. It is supposed to be steed? That's what that means.
I think it's
okay.
his house.
It's his
I
house.
think it's his house.
God damn it, that doesn't count. That's not me fucking up during the thing. Okay.
You're right, it doesn't.
We could count it, but we gotta make progress. As he directed the horse back from the driving blade of the barbarian, Grignir leashed his mount forward as the hoarsely piercing battle cry of his wilderness-bred race resounded from his grinding lungs. A twirling blade bounced harmlessly from the mighty thief's buckler as his rolling right arm cleft upwards, sending a foot of blinding steel ripping. I fucked up. No, I did fuck up.
Got it! Oh, you did it! Alright, here we go. A gleaming scimitar smote a heavy blow against the renegade's spiked helmet, bringing a heavy cloud over the accordion's misting brain. Shaking off the effects of the pounding blow to his head, Grignir brought down his scarlet-streaked edge against the soldier's crudely forged hauberk, clanging harmlessly to the left side of his opponent. The soldier's stead whinnied as he directed the horse back from the driving blade of the barbarian. Grignir leashed his mount forward as the hoarsely piercing battle cry of his wilderness-bred race resounded from its grinding lungs. A twirling blade bounced harmlessly from the mighty thief's buckler as his rolling right arm cleft upward, sending a foot of blinding steel ripping through the Cimmerian's exposed gullet. A gasping gurgle from the soldier's writhing mouth as he tumbled to the golden sand at his feet and wormed agonizingly in his deathbed.
Okay, no, you got that. The paragraph is yours.
Grignir's emerald green orbs.
Orbs? Really? Hold on. Such a fucking... That's like an amateur fiction trope. Didn't My Immortal also pull the orbs card?
I think
Jesus.
I've been seeing people do the blah 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 color orbs, especially gemstone color orb, since I was like 8 years old role playing on the internet. Like it's such a deep purple prose hackneyed amateur hour type of construction. It's crazy.
It's like it's greeting me here like an old friend, an emerald green friend. All right, you continue.
Oh, hey there, sapphire blue orb. I didn't realize that you were this old. That's incredible. Grignir's emerald green orbs glared lustfully at the wallowing soldiers struggling before his chestnut swirled mount.
Is he gonna fuck the soldiers?
Right in the wound, I assume.
Okay,
His
well...
scowling voice reverberated over the dying form in a tone of mocking mirth. You city-bred dog should learn not to antagonize your better. Reining his weary mount ahead, lowercase Grignir resumed his journey to the Noragolian city of Gorzam, hoping to discover wine, women, and adventure to boil the wild blood coursing through his savage veins.
Alright, here we go. Trying to get this.
Okay, wait a second. Yeah, this is two different... Up here, the Noragolian city of Gorzam, and the trek to Gorzam.
Oh, it's two different places. It's like a Minneapolis-St. Paul type of situation.
They're just on the same road? You have to go through Gorzam to get to Gorzam?
Yeah. It's alphabetized.
You dork
That was dumb. Fuck. Alright, no, do continue.
I will not laugh. The trek to Gorzam was forced upon Grignir when the soldiers of Grin, I'm gonna go with Grin. When the soldiers of Grin were leashed upon him. There's
The author
leashed
keeps
again.
saying leashed. Leashed.
What does he think leashed
Is it like...
is?
Is it one of those cases where it's like... Where you have the I don't know what the literary word for this is, right? But you got a word like gormless, right? There's no one uses the term gormful.
Right. To be gormed is so it's orphaned, gormless.
Yeah, so
because no one talks about Gorm.
They should. He's like a really cool guy. So are they doing like an assumed orphaned word of like, oh, to be unleashed? But no, they're not even using it in the way that you would use the presumed orphaned word.
He's leashing the stead towards his opponent, right? And he's also... The mercenaries are leashed upon him?
It doesn't make sense.
Look, we see unleashed throngs in like the next fucking sentence. What does he mean? He knows what unleashed is, but he doesn't know what leashed is.
I'm at a loss.
Do you feel as if you're coming down with agnuitis?
I think it might be. I'll probably have to go to a doctor to get a test, but it's a possibility.
The trek to Gorzam was forced upon Grignir when the soldiers of Grin were leashed upon him by a faithless concubine he had wooed. His scandalous activities throughout the Cimmerian city had unleashed throngs of havoc and uproar among his refined patricians.
It looks like Hisvok, like S instead of A.
No, I see the type of it.
Okay, no, we'll go with it.
It's an A like that font.
Maybe it looks like this because I'm like super zoomed in on yet another what do you call it, tab, to make sure that I can read this properly. But on mine, it does look like Hisvok. All right, do continue.
What do you think, gang?
I think if it's a huge maybe like this, it's probably not a loss.
I want the people to speak. I trust the word of the people. Is that Hisavok or Havoc? I'm going to continue until they tell me. All right. Where the fuck was I in this?
I believe you were at
The
Hisvok.
throngs of havoc and uproar among its refined patricians, leading him to tack a heavy reward over his head. He had barely managed to escape through the back entrance of the inn he had been guzzling in, as a squad of soldiered pounced upon him.
How does one pounce upon someone, I must wonder?
It's like flouncing, but even gayer.
So, it's... if you got flounce, and you got pounce, going back to the alphabetization that we discussed earlier, surely touncing is like the Charizard of this? So yeah, it's probably the most powerful of the three maneuvers.
Right. The baby form is flounce, and then you can pounce, and then, if you really push it, you're touncing.
If you give them a tounce stone, yeah.
After spilling a spout of blood from the leader of the mercenaries as he dismembered one of the officer's arms, he retreated to his mount to make his way towards Gorzam, rumored to contain hordes of plunder and many young wenches for any man who has the backbone to wrest them away. Arriving after dusk in Gorzam, lowercase Grigner descended down a dismal alley, reining his horse before a beaten tavern. Do you think he's gonna guzzle here? The red-haired giant strode into the dimly lit hostelry, reeking of foul odors and cheap wine. The air was heavy with choking fumes, spewing from smoldering torches. Do you think I successfully did that without a space?
I'll give you a pass on that one, yeah.
Okay. Encased
hang
within...
on. How would I have pronounced it? Smoldering torches. Yeah, no, you did fine. You did fine.
Okay. Encased within Thedon's earthen-packed walls. Tables were clustered. Okay, I fucked that one up. Alright, I fucked that. I stumbled on clustered. For some reason, that one really got to me.
The tables were clustered, not the presumed patrons that we have yet to meet.
Alright, so there you go. After two, if you would.
Alright. Arriving after dusk in Gorzam, Grignir descended down a dismal alley, reining his horse before a beaten tavern. The red-haired giant strode into the dimly lit hostelry, reeking of foul odors and cheap wine. The air was heavy with choking fumes, spewing from smoldering torches, encased within Thedon's earthen-packed walls. Tables were clustered with groups of drunken thieves and cutthroats, tossing dice or making love to willing prostitutes at the table. Huh.
At least they're willing.
You know, they're down.
It could be worse.
It sounds like everyone's down. Okay. Eyeing a slender female crouched alone at a nearby bench,
a female of the species,
Grignir advanced, wishing to wholesomely occupy his time. Flickering torches cast weird shafts of luminescence dancing over the half-naked harlot of his choice, her stringy orchid twines of hair swaying gracefully over the lithe, opaque nose as she raised
you hate to see a half-naked harlot
to her
with a transparent nose.
Yeah, if you go in the harlot, you're like, okay, she's good across the board, but I can see like straight into her skull from her face if I look dead on.
You know, like, it's not that her nose is missing. I can see sort of like a shimmer where it's supposed to be in the profile. I can see the edge and everything. It's just, it's so transparent. I don't like the effect. I can see the hair still attached in there. It's like, God, what is going on?
Pale red lips. If your lips are pale red, it sounds like maybe she has like Like she's not getting enough oxygen, if I had to guess. And
Now, they hadn't invented the word pink yet in the 1960s.
Oh, yeah. And when they did finally
Yeah.
get around to it, it was considered far too gay for most people to use, so pale red persisted until about 2005. Stringy orchid, what the fuck does that even... Okay, we're continuing.
All right, I'm going to read it exactly how it's written. No, wait, you're doing it. You're
Yes.
still on it. Sorry. Keep going.
Glancing upward, the alluring complexion noted the stalwart giant as he rapidly approached. A faint glimmer sparked from the pair of deep blue ovals of the amorous female as she motioned towards Capital Grignir, enticing him to join her. The barbarian seated himself upon a stool at the wench's side, exposing his body. Not Ed, save for a loincloth, brandishing a long steel broadsword. An iron
His loincloth was
belt.
brandishing a long steel.
It's the world's first, what's the word? Like when a monkey's tail can carry stuff?
Right, it's fully prehensile, yeah.
He has a prehensile loincloth, much like Master Chief's armor, and its prehensile undergarments, if you know, you know. Grignir's got the same thing, or at least capital G Grignir does.
Well,
Not sure about...
unlike John Halo, it's kind of like a wet blanket. You know, it's not involving itself in this process. It just keeps dangling long steel broadswords right there by his bits.
That doesn't sound safe.
By the way, you cracked up, so
I
I
did.
get to go again. Glancing upward, the alluring complexion noted the stalwart giant as he rapidly approached. A faint glimmer sparked from the pair of deep blue ovals of the amorous female as she motions towards Grignir, enticing him to join her. The barbarian seated himself upon a stool at the wench's side.
I'll just say it. Stool, least sexy type of chair that you can find.
What's the most sexy type of chair?
I would say, like, an oversized couch.
I was going with rocking.
Really? Rocking chairs? I put rocking chairs at, like, on the upholstery and seating sexiness tier list that I'm writing right now. I think I'd probably put rocking chair at, like, low C at best.
It's the motion of the ocean, my friend.
Yeah, but, like, the association of the rocking chair is, like, you know, senile old man on his porch. At least that's where I go with it. That's where I'll be going with it if I am so lucky as to reach that age.
Well, you know, old people are notorious for fucking constantly.
Apparently, if you ever go to, like, or work at a retirement home, that's an occupational hazard you're just gonna have to get really comfortable with, but not too comfortable. That would be unethical.
Do you know what the syphilis rate is for the elderly population?
100% after I'm finished.
It's high. What?
No, that's a terrible joke. All right, do continue,
The barbarian
please.
seated himself upon a stool at the wench's side. All I'm saying is that a rocking chair is the sex swing of everyday furniture.
I fundamentally disagree, but continue. We'll have to
Exposing his
cook
body.
up a tier list after
Not
this.
Ed, save for a loincloth brandishing a long steel broadsword, an iron spiraled, that's what it says, battle helmet, and a thick leather sandals.
A thick sandals.
Thick leather sandals.
Singular, but also plural somehow. Thick sandals. This is my favorite thick work boots. Go on, that you can keep going. That's me
To
giving
her
you shit.
unobstructed view. I'm gonna give you this one. We're moving past that paragraph. We both tried it. Let's go to the next one.
Thou hast need to occupy your time, barbarian? Questioned the female. Only if something worth offering
Well done.
is within
I thought
my
that was going to
reach,
get you for sure.
stated Grignir, as his hands crept to embrace the tempting female who welcomed them with unwillingness. From where do you come, barbarian? From his dick? Fuck, damn it, I did that to myself. That's where, okay. Take it, it's all yours. That was, I fell on my own sword there. My long steel broadsword held by my loincloth.
From where do you come, barbarian, and by what are you called? Gasped the complying wench as Grignir smothered her lips. Fucking Christ.
Yeah,
I was forced to imagine Grignir smothering her. Do you think he was like when you suck a juice out of a piece of fruit, just like full open mouth, making a seal all the way around? Just
it pinches her nose shut. Yeah. It's like reverse
pig
CPR.
nose. Oh God!
You did crack up.
I did crack up. Yeah.
From where do you come, barbarian? And by what are you called? Gasped the complying wench as Grignir smothered her lips with the blazing touch of his flaming mouth.
Ooh, hot! Ouchie!
He's gonna give her a little burn. Let's see.
He's got dragon breath.
Oh, I gotta scroll
All of his other
mine.
powers too.
Hold on. I gotta make sure that what they can see. Sorry. There we go. That should do it. The engrossed Titan ignored the queries of the inquisitive female, pulling her towards him and crushing her sagging nipples to his yearning chest. Without struggle, she gave in.
He's got very particular taste, doesn't he?
He does, and you know what? We all got a type. Winding her soft arms around the harshly bronze hide of Grignir corded shoulder blades.
I'm not gonna take this from you, but I demand you enunciate that word.
I'll be honest, I didn't see
You
the
can
D.
keep going. You didn't?
I did not see the D, no. I read it as
All right.
bronze hide. That's a fail
I
on my
can't
part.
believe you missed the D when his loincloth is just flapping that sword all around.
Yeah, it's a moral failing on my part.
The engrossed Titan. Just so everyone knows, I am arcing one eyebrow when I pause like that. Ignored the queries of the inquisitive female, pulling her towards him and crushing her sagging nipples to his
How far-
yearning chest.
So question, how far do we think we're saying? We're talking 1 inch, 2 inch?
I'm imagining full grandma, like
Full
she's
grandma?
tickling her navel.
Okay, do continue. That's you beat me on that one. That's
Without struggle, she gave in, winding her soft arms around the harshly bronzed hide of Grignir, corded. Yes, that is how it's written. I had to pause to make sure I didn't miss a word, but it's just not there. Corded shoulder blades, as his calloused hands caressed her firm, protruding busts.
okay. So her bust protrudes in like a firm, presumably pretty nice way, but the nips, those puppies are hanging down
They're on
like
the
door
bottom.
knockers.
They're on the bottom.
Wow, that's you've painted a wonderful picture, author.
You know how, like, cow udders have those real long dangling nipples?
Mm-hmm. I'm familiar.
Same exact shit. Same orientation.
Wow. You know, maybe nope. I can't make that joke. Do continue.
Do you want to whisper it to me and I'll make the joke? Is it
No,
right?
it's not even funny. You've missed nothing.
Oh, right. Okay, well, he's just fully lying. You make love well, wench, admitted Grignir as he reached for the vessel of potent wine his charge had been quaffing.
Okay, so stop. Hold on. He pulls her towards him, crushes those sagging bad boys.
Uh-huh.
He
smothered her lips.
She might be, like, asphyxiated. She's wrapped her arms. They haven't actually begun to do the deed.
No, there's... I believe the phrase is, well, it's not a handshake, but, I mean, that's not sex.
Yeah,
that's not even close to being sex.
Does the author know what sex is?
I don't think so. He was a 16-year-old who wrote science fiction.
It's almost cute then. Okay. I'm not gonna get too hard on the author. Not like anyone else was. Alright, do go on.
Dandy. I have an ad break starting, so I would like to take a little bit to pause. Unfortunately, my ad breaks are 3 goddamn minutes long. I hope that you do not have ads on your screen right now. If you do, go to our Discord, and there may, in fact, be something on the bulletin board that will help you get rid of them once and for all. But that's not really my prerogative. I just live here. What you do in the Limonex's hyperstation, this abandoned mall, it's not up to me. Or you can make Cambot really excited by resubscribing for 9 months in a row, as Dindigar has suggested. Thank you, Dindy.
It only
really
works
nice
if
of
you do 9 months. You have ads months 1 through 8, so you either prepay or you just get used to it.
I don't know that that's true, but I can't prove it's not true, so, you know, go under your own judgment, people.
Yeah, my ad break's starting too. I'll play an ad that's shorter length than yours, because I actually can't play a 3-minute ad. And I'll get some water in the meantime. We'll continue.
Yeah, it's actually a really funny thing. We've gone through this before. I described what I see when I look at that section of the settings, you know, on the back end of Twitch. And Dindy has described what he sees on that exact same page. And we literally do not have the same options. There's some kind of like deranged A/B testing shit going on in our 2 ad programs. And I feel like I got the short end of that stick.
I
frankly.
think Daddy Twitch just likes me more.
That might be true. I wish you wouldn't phrase it that way. Or at least enunciate it in a different fashion.
No chance. I'm gonna go get some water. Be right back.
I am going to do the absolute level best thing I could be doing for my voice on this special event night. Wherein we read Unbroken, a piece of classic literature. I'm going to eat a saltine cracker. It's really dry. It's really dry. Welcome back. We have to wait just a little while for Dindigar to return, but when he does, Eye of Argon is back on. You know, I bet that there are people in this world still alive right now who have Eye of Argon memorized, typos included, beginning to end. And they can recite it from memory as a dramatic reading. I wonder if there's somebody who's ever, like, done a monologue, like an audition for professional performance. Eye of Argon. I wonder. I think you could actually successfully do this as a comedic monologue. But you'd have to do it really bombastic. Have your own choreography and stuff. Dendigar may have died.
That's
He's
the sound I
dead,
make when I
folks.
die.
That's his death noise. You heard it.
Yar. Okay. I figure to give you a fighting chance, I'll maybe have a little bit of soju as well. Probably won't hurt anything.
Probably not. So we just ended with quaffing.
Such a good word.
A flying foot caught the mug Ricknir had taken hold of, sending its blood-red contents sloshing over a flickering crescent, leashing tongues of bright orange flame to the foot-trodden floor. That was a little hard to actually physically read.
I'd like to see a hand-trodden floor.
And we move on. Remove yourself, sirrah. The wench belongs to me, blabbered a drunken soldier,
So the
too
way
far consumed by the influences of his virile brew. Gross, man.
he's
To
drinking
take note
cum.
of the superior size of his adversary.
The way it's written, where blabbered is inexplicably capitalized, I have to assume the drunken soldier's name. Blabbered,
Yeah, his
comma,
name is
a
Blabbered,
drunken
right?
soldier. That's the
we
only
agree.
way you can.
Yeah.
That's the only way you can interpret that.
Okay, I'm gonna read it as it's written. Grignir lithely, bound from the startled female, his
No,
face
sorry.
lit up to an ashen red ferocity.
You did goof it.
Go ahead.
You said Grignir lithely
Where?
bound from the startled female.
Did I?
You did. Sorry.
I said bounded in my head. Go ahead.
I did the same thing with Bronze Hide. It happens. Grignir lithely bounded from the startled female, his face lit up to an ashen red ferocity,
The little deer.
and eyes locked in a searing feral blaze toward the swaying soldier. Its
Like a
face
slightly bigger
is
deer.
red, but it's all ash is like typically associated with like paleness. I'm trying to imagine the complexion, but all I can think of is like burn victim.
I think they're calling him pink again.
Oh, maybe he's like the pinkest baby in all the land. And this quest is to like.
But it doesn't sound manly when you say he's like a big pink baby. So you say he's an ashen red titan.
I'm not gonna laugh. To hell with you, braggart, bellowed the angered Encordian as he hefted his finely honed.
You said incordian.
Hey,
It's ecord.
wasn't it Encordian before?
It probably was, but it doesn't matter
Okay,
because
okay.
right now it is written accordion.
Much like the instrument, spelled wrong. Alright, go for
To
it.
hell with you. I'm going to give this pause what it deserves. Space, comma, space. To hell with you. Braggart, bellowed the angered accordion as he hefted his finely honed broadsword.
Weird Al off his shits, the angered accordion. Alright. I'm done. Go forth. Sorry. I'm gonna make myself laugh with my own jokes, and that's the mark of a real professional.
The staggering soldier clumsily reached toward the pommel. Fuck. That's not what it says. It's you.
Does it not say that?
Nope.
Staggering soldier clumsily reached towards the pommel of his dangling sword. But before his hands ever touched the oaken hilt, a silvered flash was slicing the heavy air. A fuse of the savage. Fucked up
Whenever
my
we see
yes.
Fuse, I want you to do the like bodybuilder titty dance.
Oh yeah, you can't see it.
Yeah.
My PNG tuber, if it wasn't all just a silhouette. I'm doing it right now, but you just can't see it.
Make the pecs jiggle, yeah.
I did forget the S though.
Alright. The staggering soldier clumsily reached towards the pommel of his dangling sword, but before his hands ever touched the oaken hilt, a silvered flash was slicing the heavy air. The thews of the savage's lashing right arm bulged from the glistening bronzed hide as his blade bit deeply into the soldier's neck, lopping off the confused head of his senseless tormentor.
It's both an E and an A. He tried it both ways. So any pronunciation I consider successful, so good on you.
Thank you. With a nauseating thud, the severed oval
that's
toppled
weak.
to the floor.
Okay, that's weak. Severed oval.
Maybe it
my
was
sweet
two-dimensional.
ass. Yeah, his sword is so powerful it cleaves the various dimensions.
Mm-hmm. It was a head, then he beheaded it, and now it's an oval. And when it hits the ground, it's going to, like, strike all the way through. It's a perfectly flat blade at this point. It's going to go to the core of the earth. It doesn't even cut any of the matter along the way. It slips sliding right between the gaps of even protons.
Really, if he was quick enough, he could have put it right back on the body and been fine, but he didn't because he is mean.
As the segregated torso, are you sure about that, of Grignir's bovine antagonist swayed.
I knew it! They're all Tauren. The lady up earlier, this guy, he's
It
motherfuckers.
explains her sagging nipples.
Yeah, they're all Tauren. They're all out on Thunder... What the fuck is the Tauren? Thunder Bluff? Yeah, probably that.
That's right. Then collapsed in a pool of swirled crimson. Swirled with what? Oh, probably the virile brew.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
In the confusion, the soldiers' fellows confronted Grignir with unsheathed cutlasses, directed towards the latter's scowling make-up. The slut should have picked his quarry more carefully, roared the victor. So, the bovine was a slut? Is that what?
Yeah, he's
we're saying?
fucking all the cow people. Maybe he
The
knew...
slut should have picked his quarry more carefully, roared the victor in a mocking baritone growl. I'm gonna keep going, but just for fun, Dendigar, can you give us a mocking baritone growl? How low can you go?
I'm
Can you
not...
go down low? All the way to the flow?
Oh, should have picked his quarry more carefully. That's best I can do.
No, hold on. Say slut in your mocking baritone growl.
The slut should have picked his quarry more carefully. I'm going closer to, like,
Brilliant. Thank
Batman. Okay.
Slut to me! The fool should have shown more prudence. However, you shall rue your actions while rotting in the pits.
Nope, you
Stated one of the
skipped
sprawled
you skipped
soldiers'
the
comrades.
the from
Did
after
I?
baritone growl. There's a word I
Alright,
want to
well,
see if you pronounce
okay.
correctly.
Alright, as he wiped his dripping blade on the prostate form.
Nope, you fucked it. I knew one of us would say it. So I was hoping that you would either goof it and give it to me, or succeed, because there's a good chance I goof it.
I couldn't. You know, like, whenever I see a really easy joke, I gotta swing.
Yeah,
I gotta. It is my fatal flaw. His dripping blade. Like, come on. It's right there.
His dripping
We're playing
blade,
softball over here.
the form of his prostate, yeah, and the scabbard, it's deeply homoerotic in, like, a violent way. The slut should have picked his quarry more carefully. roared the victor in a mocking baritone growl as he wiped his dripping blade on the prostrate form and returned it to its scabbard. Okay, continuing. The fool should have shown more prudence. However, you shall rue your actions while rotting in the pits, stated one of the sprawled soldier's comrades. The end quote never arrived. Where's the close quotation mark?
The prostrate soldier is still narrating the rest of this, yeah.
Grignir's hand began to remove his blade from its leather housing, but retarded the motion in face of the blades waving before his face. Dismiss your hand from the hilt, barbarian, or you shall find a foot of steel sheathed in your gizzard.
Come on, give it a good old effort. You're reading The Lord of the Rings or whatever the fuck you read.
Dismiss your hand from the hilt, barbarian. I'm not... God damn it, now I'm stumbling through. I've gone back through it, now I'm stumbling. Dismiss your hand from the hilt, barbarian, or you shall find a foot of steel sheathed in your gizzard. It's a little better.
Yeah, that's better.
Grignir weighed his position, observing his plight.
This is where you use a dash? All of those other ones, no dash. This is where you use a fucking dash? Were you saving it for this moment?
No, fuck, damn it. Take it, go for it.
Grignir weighed his position, observing his plight, whereupon he took the soldier's advice as the only logical choice. There's a tickle in my throat. I'm eating too many saltines.
Should be drinking soju instead.
There we go. To attempt to hack his way from his present predicament would only warrant certain death.
Grignir's like, this is cyberpunk, we just don't know it.
Hold on, I need to say this the way it is written on the page. He was of no mind. You laughing at my dumb joke got me. Okay, go ahead.
Plum soju, that's pretty good. Grignir weighed his position, observing his plight. Where-upon he took the soldier's advice as the only logical choice. To attempt to hack his way from his present predicament could only warrant certain death. He, stealing a joke, was of no mind to bring upon his own demise. If an alternate path presented itself, the will to necessitate his life forced him to yield to the superior force in hopes of a moment of carlessness. Later upon... Fuck, damn it! I got carlessness. The state of lacking Carl.
Alright, here we go.
You can continue where I left off. We both failed this one at this point. I think that should be the rule. If we both fail, the other person...
We can do it.
Okay, go for it.
Grignir weighed his position, observing his plight, whereupon he took the soldier's advice as the only logical choice. To attempt to hack his way from his present predicament could only warrant certain death. He was of no mind to bring upon his own demise if an alternate path presented itself. Saved it. The will to necessitate his life forced him to yield to the superior... Fuck! Okay. You can start the will. I give this to you. I grant it.
The will to necessitate his life forced him to yield to the superior forces in hopes of a moment of powerlessness.
Fuck! It's not forces. It's force.
Oh, fuck. God damn it. Okay, the will. Go for it. This is rough.
The will I know, this is hard. The will to necessitate his life forced him to yield to the superior force in hopes of a moment of carlessness. Shit. The will.
Hang on. Nope, I don't need soju. The will to necessitate his life forced him to yield to the superior force in hopes of a moment of carlessness, later upon the part of his captors, in which he could effect a more plausible means of escape.
Pause. Did that make any fucking sense to anyone else? Like, even accounting for the typos? Did that conjure anything in your goddamn noggins? I've got a pretty advanced, well-practiced imagination, okay? I can rotate the fucking apple. What the fuck did he just say? What is that? What's going on?
All I can think of is, like, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Carl's not there. And this force of the lack of Carl has apparently, finally forced him to consider his own mortality. If Carl can go, so can he.
Later upon the part of his captors in which he could effect a more plausible means of escape. What?
I like using more words than is necessary. I stream, of course, so obviously I like throwing lots of words at things and people. But, like, maybe use a few less words. Extra less. It's like adding in negative words.
How many layers of passive voice are we on? This is like third level passive voice.
Much like I'm
operating. Is there a subject at all?
On like third or fourth level irony. The force of carlessness has a level of passive voice that we have yet to really properly understand.
We need to invent a new language just to account for this amount of, well, I need to distance myself from all of this proceedings. Oh my God.
It'll be used primarily by politicians. All right.
Polite clapping.
I think I want to keep a notepad, Doc, of all my favorite words that we've seen. No.
Well, I love when a stead whinnies. Make sure that's written down.
I have way too many notes. Best words or phrases. Stead whinnies. Carlessness. Such a good word. Like dendylessness. Except somehow more, like, immediately.
I disagree with the way you're interpreting this.
You don't
because I feel like Carlessness would have two L's. This is a lack of private automobiles. This is carlessness.
You could be onto something. However, I go rule of cool, and I think the profound state of being wherein there are no Carls is more funny and interesting to me.
I think the author is bemoaning that his red-headed titan never knows the pure joy of cruising in his Camaro.
Well, we know he can hack, so we haven't strictly ruled out cyberpunk. He could still be, like, just living out in the Barrens, where everyone hits each other with, like, scimitars and cutlasses and shit.
I do believe it is still your go. You may steady your arms, etc.
Let's see. Actually have to... Give me a second. Perfect, so people can see. You may steady your arms, I will go without a struggle. Your decision is a wise one, yet perhaps you would have been better off had you forced death. The soldier's mouth wrinkled to a sadistic grin of knowing mirth as he prodded his prisoner on.
Oh, he's been sucking lemons.
Your decision is a wise one. Yep. Oh, it's fucking sour. God damn. Okay, no, you got me.
That was in the middle of a sentence, so I win. this round. Your decision is a wise one, yet perhaps you would have been better off had you forced death. The soldier's mouth wrinkled to a sadistic grin
Would you
of
care
merriment
for a lemon drop?
as he prodded his prisoner on with his sword point. After an indiscriminate period of marching through slinking alleyways
Surely
and dim, moonlighted
indeterminate, right?
streets... No, he can't discriminate. He can't see time.
Okay, he's... You know what? No, I already forgot the way he was using segregated before. Segregated torso. Discriminate time. I'm wondering if our guy is maybe not so nice.
Dim, moonlighted streets, the procession confronted a massive... I believe this is Italian, so I'm gonna go with Saraglio.
Yeah, it's the guy's name. They call him Massive Saraglio, leader of the mob.
The palace area was surrounded by an iron grating with a lush garden upon all sides. The group was admitted through the gilded gateway, and Grignir was led along a stone pathway bordering... Fuck. I got led along and messed up bordered. Go ahead.
The group was admitted through the gilded gateway, and Grignir was led along a stone pathway bordered by a plush vegetation lustfully...
By plush vegetation, not
Plush
any
vegetation.
Plush
Oh my
vegetation.
Yeah.
The group was admitted through the gilded gateway, and Grignir was led along a stone pathway bordered by plush vegetation, lustfully enhanced by the...
So...
Fuck!
Are they growing like a titty bush? Lustful and plush? That's the only thing I can think of.
I think it's like Saiyan fruit. Plush vegetation. What does the scouter say about his barbarian level?
It's super plush! Right. The group was admitted through the gilded gateway, and Grignir was led along a stone pathway bordered by plush vegetation, lustfully enhanced by the moon's shimmering rays. Upon reaching the palace, the group was granted entrance and, after several minutes of explanation, led through several winding corridors to a richly draped chamber.
Should we talk about what he thinks lust means? Like, I really did figure that a 16-year-old, sci-fi geek knew the meaning of lust. But he's lustfully looking at corpses, the plush vegetation is lustfully enhanced. Like, unless he's got some really peculiar tastes, he's got to be using this word wrong, right?
I would assume he's using it wrong. I think he knows the feeling, but not the word to apply to it. Having been a 16-year-old sci-fi nerd, I could say, but I'm also I know my words. So I can safely say, having been there, he's using it wrong. He's gotta be. I don't think the guy wants to, fuck the gourds that are in the garden. Maybe he does. Does he? They're plush vegetation. I don't want to linger on this too much. Any answers I come up with each one is more upsetting than the last. Confronting the group was a short, stocky man seated upon a golden throne. Tapestries of richly draped regal blue silk covered all walls of the chamber, while the steps leading to the throne were plated with sparkling white ivory. That's a lot of ivory if you're going to make plates out of it.
Not what plated means, but go on.
Yeah. The man upon the throne had a naked wench seated at each of his arms, and a trusted advisor seated in back of him.
Yeah, good luck. Do you know any Welsh?
You've heard of the No, I'm gonna make myself laugh. I can't do it. I can't do it. At each corner of the chamber, a guard stood at
Well
attention
done.
with upraised pikes supported in their hands, a golden chainmail adorning their
No,
torsos.
fuck. Now I have to say it because it's not a golden chainmail. It's just golden chainmail.
Damn.
All
Okay.
right, here we go.
Go.
Confronting the group was a short, stocky man seated upon a golden throne. Tapestries of richly draped regal blue silk covered all walls of the chamber, while the steps leading to the throne were plated with sparkling white ivory. The man upon the throne had a naked wench seated at each of his arms and a trusted advisor seated in back of him.
You've heard of the Eiffel
At each
Tower. We
corner-
call this one the Taj Mahal. That's so gross.
I'm considering, like, what would be the... Oh, you would make them sit on it.
Yeah, there you go.
would stick your middle fingers up and you would just... Because they're the two towers of the Taj Mahal.
Yeah, I'm glad that you could see
Mhm.
the beautiful vision that I can see.
And you just get a little wiggle. At each corner of the chamber, a guard stood at attention, with upraised pikes supported in their hands, golden chainmail adorning their torsos, and barred helmets, emitting scarlet plumes, enshrouding their heads.
They have to
The man
they have to
rose-
fucking sweep the floors constantly because they're always emitting plumes.
It's just all over the place. You can't imagine the mess. The man rose from his throne to the dais surrounding it. His plush turquoise robe dangled looselessly from his chunky frame. I
Ari.
imagine that the moon lustfully gazed upon it.
You did goof it at the very
Ah,
end.
What?
You said looselessly.
Did I? Okay, go.
From the beginning? Oh, okay.
Well,
Confronting the group was a short, stocky man seated upon a golden throne. Tapestries of richly draped regal blue silk covered all walls of the chamber, while the steps leading to the throne were plated with sparkling white ivory. The man upon the throne had a naked wench seated at each of his arms, and a trusted advisor seated in back of him. At each corner of the chamber...
imagine what the advisor's doing.
I don't have to imagine. I do have to imagine. God damn it! Fuck you! Alright, pick up from the man... The man. Or in other words, we're never gonna get even through like 10 pages of this. Oh,
The
we
man
both goofed
rose
it.
from his throne to the dais surrounding it. His plush turquoise robe dangled loosely from his chunky frame. The soldiers surrounding Grignir fell to their knees with heads bowed. No, that is what it says. To the stone masonry of the floor in fearful dignity to their sovereign, liege.
That's the name of their sovereign. So I'll have you know, I'm
Explain
actually...
the purpose of this intrusion upon my chateau.
Ow. We're French? We're Italian? This is really multicultural. Also, for sound effects, I've been listening to the Caves of Quud soundtrack this whole time
Uh-huh.
at like
Yeah.
1/3 volume. I think
Uh-huh.
it's really adding to this. It's really, really nice.
Your serenity, resplendent in noble grandeur, we have brought this yokel before you, the soldier gestured towards Grignir, for the redress or your all-knowing wisdom in judgment regarding his fate. I delivered that as if the soldier was saying it because it is not separate from the dialogue box. Down on your knees, lout, and pay proper homage to your sovereign, commanded the pudgy noble of Grignir. By the surly beard of Mrevrik, Grignir kneels to no man,
Hold on, let me try that.
scowled the massive barbarian.
How did you pronounce that name?
Terrific.
Mrifk. That's a tough one. Okay. Mrifk.
Not enough vowels in that one, I think. Not for my taste.
I'd like to buy a vowel, please.
I grant you a W. Good luck.
Not. No. God damn it.
You dare to duel? No, fuck it. Fuck shit.
You
fuck.
fucked it. You fucked it.
I fucked it. I fucked it. I fucked an easy word, too.
You dare to deal this blasphemous act to me? You are indeed brave, stranger, yet your valor smacks of foolishness. I find you to be the only fool sitting upon your pompous throne, enhancing the rolling flabs, plural, of your belly in the midst of your elaborate luxury and...
Good luck. I guess so.
The soldier
There's
standing...
so little ink there. You could
It's-
almost say anything.
I gotta say luxury and... The soldier standing at Grignir's side smote him heavily in the face with the flat of his sword, cutting short
Well,
the
if you're
harsh
going to
words.
interrupt him, do it sooner than that. I mean, come on.
He's already called your boy fat. And talked about his
Yes.
elaborate luxury and...
Well, you never mentioned a man's luxury, and I think that was the real, like, crossing the line moment.
Cutting short the harsh words and knocking his battered helmet to the masonry with an echoing clang. The paunchy noble's sagging round face flushed suddenly pale, then hastily lit up to a lustrous cherry red radiance. His lips trembled with malicious rage.
That's not real, right? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
So he's got a reverse
Hastily
heart.
lit up?
It flushed pale. So his heart actually, there's like some sort of fucked up hydraulics going on, where the blood is forced by default to all extremities, but his heart can withdraw the blood at any point in time from a given limb.
Incredible stuff.
His lips
Is this the power of
trembled
dark
with
magic?
malicious rage, while emitting a muffled, sibilant gibberish. His sagging flabs, plural, rolled like a tub of upset jelly, then compressed as he sucked in his gut in attempt...
Nope.
Go forth and read.
The paunchy noble's sagging round face flushed suddenly pale. Really, I messed up that fast. Go ahead. You can start with his sagging flabs.
His sagging flabs, plural, rolled like a tub of upset jelly, then compressed as he sucked in his gut in an attempt to conceal his softness.
Flashbang.
Change in the color. Okay, fuck me. 1 second. The prince regained his statue, then spoke to the soldiers surrounding Grignir, his face conforming to an ugly expression of sadistic humor. Take this uncouth heathen to the vault of misery, and be sure that his agonies are long and drawn out before death can release him. As you wish, sire. Your command shall be heeded immediately, answered the soldier on the right of Grignir, as he stared into the barbarian's seemingly unaffected face.
I'm not kidding when I say that this is giving me a headache already.
Yeah, I wisely took Tylenol at 2 points during the stream, so... Am I perhaps...
Are you feeling the power?
What? What?
Are you feeling the power?
Yeah. Like a teeny tiny bit of soju and a little bit of Tylenol and an energy drink. This is like performance enhancing drugs for reading bullshit.
a lot there, Dindigar.
You know, que sera on that one. It's, I have other Oregon stuff to worry about. I had to deliver to the pile, I suppose. The advisor seated in the back of the noble
drugs.
slowly rose and advanced to the side of his master, motioning the wenches seated at his sides to remove themselves. He lowered his head and whispered to the
I need my
noble,
hands free, wenches.
with a... His forearms once again became free.
Well done.
Eminence, the punishment you have decreed will cause much misery to the scum, yet it will only last a short time. Then release him to a land beyond the sufferings of the human body. Why not mellow him in one of the subterranean vaults for a few days, then send him to life labor in one of your buried mines? To one such as he, a life spent in the confinement of the Stygian pits will be an infinitely more appropriate and lasting torture. If I was the big lad, I'd be killing my advisor right now. I've just decreed that... Well, thank you very much, soundtrack. I've just decreed the punishment. He has removed my wenches, and he's like, actually, maybe do it this way, No, your head'll be on a pike in the front lawn. Don't fuck with me, advisor. Get back on your seat behind me, where you belong.
You know, I don't think a buried mine is terribly useful. I think that makes it not a mine.
Yeah, every day when they dig out the various ores, they take like the mine waste and like a separate different hole that they've been digging out in parallel but not removing the ore from, and they fill the mine back in each day so that no one can find it.
What if they find the parallel mine directly next to the mine that they're actively unburying
hold on.
every day?
Parallel mine isn't a mine, it's a hole that they're pulling waste dirt up from and leaving the ore in. It's a reverse mine. That person will then find the reverse mine, assume that that is the mine, or could become a mine on account of the very available ore, and will then stop searching for the true mine, as they have found a place to get ore from, and they don't need to get the other one.
That's less depleted, easier to access. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do see why the country has gone into the state it's in.
Well, I'm glad that my vision for like reburying your mines, it started as like a, you know, when you do forestry after you clear cut a forest, right? You want to replant your trees.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same idea as that for mining, but it hasn't. The miners hate it. They loathe it. The noble cupped his drooping...
Which apparently is a point in his favor right now.
Yeah, and well, you know what? That's because I would be a really good, like, despot. All right, I'll say it. I'd be a better despot than this guy. The noble cupped his drooping double chin in the folds of his brimming...
Nope. Not what it says. The noble cupped his drooping double chin in the folds of his briming palm, meditating for a moment upon the rationality of the counselor's words, then paused and fucked it in front of everybody. Dindigar, you go.
The noble cupped his drooping double chin in the folds of his briming palm, meditating for a moment upon the rationality of the counselor's words, then raised his shaggy brown eyebrows and turned towards the advisor, eyes aglow. As always, Agathon...
Oh my god, he's using his laser vision! Duck!
As always, Agathon, you speak with great wisdom. Your words ring of great knowledge concerning the nature of one such as he. saith the king. The noble turned towards the prisoner, with a noticeable shimmer reflecting in his frog-like eyes, and his lips contorting to a greasy grin. I have decided to void my previous decree. The prisoner shall be removed to one of the palace... Fuck! Damn it! Fuck, okay.
As always, Aguffent, you speak with great wisdom. Your words ring of great knowledge concerning the nature of one such as he, saith the king. The noble turns towards the prisoner with a noticeable shimmer, reflecting in his frog-like eyes.
Sorry, you said reflecting.
It looks like a fucking A to me, bud.
I'll send you a screen grab just so that you can see what I'm seeing. Here, I really hope that this is helpful for you.
Alright, it is. If I zoom in, it is definitely reflecting. Yep, you're right. At this, the way that it's making it all crunchy, it looks a whole lot like an A. But if I zoom in, it stops, blurring and shifting the pixels to make it smaller, and it's definitely reflecting.
I thought sending a screen grab that was like 8 pixels by 8 pixels was a really good bit, but that's gone fully unremarked. It's fine. It's fine. As always, Agaffend, you speak with great wisdom. Your words ring of great knowledge concerning the nature of one such as he, saith the king. The noble turned towards the prisoner with a noticeable shimmer reflecting in his frog-like eyes, and his lips contorting to a greasy grin. I have decided to void my previous decree. The prisoner shall be removed to one of the palace's underground vaults. There he shall stay until I have decided that he has sufficiently simmered, whereupon he is to be allowed to spend the remainder of his days at labor in one of my mines. Upon hearing this, Grignir realized that his fate would be far less merciful than death to one such as he, who is used to roaming the countryside at will. A life of confinement would be more than his body and mind could stand up to. This type of life would be immeasurably worse than death. You're a big lad. Just fucking punch someone. What, are your hands bound? Kick the soldier really, really hard, right in the back of his knee, and try to run. Are your legs, ironed? Just soccer header them. Just headbutt smash your skull straight into their dome. He is wearing a helmet, or was at one point. I've already forgotten if the helmet was knocked off by that slap from the sword. All I'm saying is, if he's worried about dying, immediately starts just absolutely losing your shit and thrashing. Either you manage to free yourself by dealing enough damage, or you are killed and not forced into confinement like that. I shall never understand the ways if your twisted civilization. I simply defend my honor and am condemned to life confinement by a pig who sits on his royal ass wooing whores and knows nothing of the affairs of the land he imagines to rule. Lectures Grignir?
Wasn't he the one who was seducing half-naked harlots and willing prostitutes in the roadside tavern?
Yeah.
Just before this?
They're both having a little sippy of drinks. They're both... I think, if anything, maybe he's jealous. The big lad has not one but 2 harlots and a guy in the back. And a throne on a dais. Whereas Grignir was... Well, he was relegated to the stool.
Not a crummy bar stool.
If anything, I think...
Just a stool next to a harlot. Just a stool, not even a distinguishing stool.
Given their goals, I think maybe Grignir could learn from this guy. Enough of this. Away with the slut before I loose my control. Seeing the peril of his position, Grignir searched for an opening. Crushing Prudence to the sward, he plowed into the soldier at his left arm, taking hold of his sword.
Wink.
And bounding to the dais supporting the prince before the startled guards could regain their composure. Agafund leaped Grignir and his sire, but found a sword blade permeating the length of his ribs before he could loose his weapon.
Nope.
I fucked it in the last 3 words, god damn it.
To be fair, so did the writer. Seeing the peril of his position, Grignir searched for an opening. Crushing Prudence to the sward, he plowed into the soldier at his left arm, taking hold of his sword.
A lot of
and
fisting going on
to
in the story.
Dice. I know. I'm taking off my limiter. I'm removing Dindigar's handicap. I'm putting on my glasses. So now I can actually see and read properly.
I'm putting on a second pair of glasses. Eat shit.
And bounding to the dais, supporting the prince before the startled guards could regain their composure, Agafund leaped Grignir and his sire, but found a sword blade permeating the length of his ribs before he could loose his weapon. Hold on, I want to make sure that people can see that. Man, this dude is smoking fat doinks and Amish. Look at this.
You know what? Maybe he's not so bad. Guy looks chill as fuck. Also, that's not a double chin. That's a 1, 2, 3, 4. That's a quadruple chin.
This man is wrinkled like the boss orangutan, you know?
He's...
Look at his cheek flaps.
Yeah, rather than side flaps, they all just stack up on the flaps on the below.
His arms aren't even out. He's straight up chilling. I look at this guy and I think, this barbarian's at fault. Why is he going into his house and being rude? Put him in the burial mine. The counselor slumped to his knees as Grignir slid his crimsoned blade from... That's not the same word. Gift. Ribcage. The fat prince stood undulating in insurmountable fear. Undulating?
Oh, he's doing a wiggle jiggle. It's his defense move.
Before the edge of the fiery maned comet. Huh?
Wasn't that...
His flabs
didn't
of jellied blubber.
Wasn't that the guy in Gundam? Red Comet?
I wouldn't know.
I've been watching it recently. It's pretty cool.
I've seen 2 series of Gundam.
Oh,
and one of them was the racist tournament one.
The race that they're doing? Are all the tournaments? Are all the attendants in the tournament racist and they're seeing who could be the most racist? Is the tournament itself racist and like...
It's a combat tournament, but everyone has to enter as a racist caricature.
Holy shit. I've been working through it from the beginning, from the first one released on. Okay, this is sidetracked. Okay, continue.
Shout out to G Gundam. You awoke something in me. Moving on. You'll get it when you see it.
Look, all I know is that anything having to do with big fucking robots awakes something in a lot of them. When I was doing my Armored Core, and I do want to go back to that, I'm just not sure how because I lost the old recording. People are fucking mad horny for Armored Core. People really like... I don't know what robots do to people, but it does something. Alright, that's all I have to say on the subject. Do you please continue?
His flabs of jellied blubber pulsating to and fro in ripples of flowing terror.
Already jellied, huh? Usually that's like...
This kid has got some hang-ups. This man is like a gel creature, you know? He's like a slime.
He's already gotten like a bunch of, what's that? The chemical that you put into jelly to make it jelly.
Gelatin?
No, not gelatin. No. I think it starts with an A. I am super sidetracking us. Dude, please keep going.
Petroleum.
Yeah, petroleum. Pour the gasoline on the blueberries. Pectin. Pectin's the word. Thank you, Val.
Not agar-agar?
No, not agar-agar.
You said it started with an A.
I was totally wrong. Agar-agar is my Star Wars OC.
I hope he blows up.
Oh, fuck.
There's so many channels on Twitch with my new friends where I cannot express this opinion, but Star Wars blows. Star Wars sucks so bad. I've never been interested in Star Wars.
Never.
No. I was a little kid and my uncle was trying to show me Star Wars and I was like, well, okay, sure. I like the spaceships, and he's like, no, that's the least interesting part. Like, okay, well.
Okay, well, the spaceships are super cool. I used to go to the library and get those cutaway books that would show, like, oh, here's how it works. Really, it's just a chance for a kid to look at, like, a hyper-detailed illustration of, like, a ton of little vignettes going on in a sci-fi setting. Those were really cool to me. I really liked that when I was a little kid. I did like Star Wars, original trilogy, and sequel trilogy, up until about 2013 when I re-examined it. And then when I was working at a fucking Kohl's during the seventh one coming out, I was just so fucking sick of it. The marketing, the movie itself was not impressive to me at all. Really? Well, that's your story. A third Death Star, but this time it's really, really big? Eat shit. Just so fucking
it's
dumb.
hack hour.
I could come up with something better. I've said it before, if you're gonna keep doing Star Wars, and you shouldn't, they should just let the franchise be done for like a long time. Literally, do Knights of the Old Republic. Something completely that has nothing to do with goddamn Darth Vaders or Skywalkers.
I'm sick of these fucking Jedi. I don't want to hear about the Jedi anymore. I don't want to hear about their swords. I don't want to hear about their flips. I don't want to hear about their stupid philosophy that defeats itself on its face. I don't want to talk about any of it. I want the Jedi to go in a hole.
I swear, I'm not evil, okay? But literally the Sith make more sense every step of the way than the Jedi. Although, like, maybe do a synthesis of the two beliefs. You know? Grey Jedi shit.
I can't care about this. I cannot care about this.
I know.
It's not in me. The first time I saw it, it was like too slow paced for my little child brain riddled with untreated ADHD. And the second time I saw it, I'd seen all this shit before. Like, it's so paint by numbers. And don't even fucking tell me that it was like, it invented all this stuff, it popularized this. No. I was a freak little kid, and I was reading a lot of really old fiction, and it was already done. It had been done in the late 1800s. It was old hat by the time Lucas got his hands on it, okay? Like, none of it interests me.
I honestly believe that George Lucas somewhat shifted the timelines, unfortunately, with the sequel trilogy. The creation of movies at that stage, with so much being done on a blue screen, and actors just hopping around a big fucking blue warehouse on blue boxes, acting at nothing. I believe that those movies made that even, because he considered himself a bit of a trendsetter with tech. People followed suit when they saw how much money it made. And I believe that that shifted the timelines. I believe George Lucas is part of why we are where we are today. That's my hot take.
You could not have the Marvel Cinematic Universe without the sequel trilogy of Star Wars and the ability to buy a Jar Jar Binks candy for your child where they suck on Jar Jar's tongue. That's a real product.
I know, I've seen it. I've seen it. You know, you've never wanted to, like, deep throat Jar Jar's tongue? Because I haven't. Like,
until it disappears into my mouth? Dissolves in my fluids? No.
And become one with Jar Jar. Yeah. No, it's... I really, really, really like the original trilogy. bit of Dendy Deep lore. I was such a little freak for this, and it's probably because of my dad, and I liked the stuff that he had. He had this utterly forbidden collection of not miniatures, action figures, and like comics and shit. One day this will pay for your college. And we had like VHS copies.
Yeah, did he sell it?
No, the market crashed by the time school came around.
There you go.
And it turned out a bunch of it was not really worth all that much in the first place. In any case, I was like, oh, this is forbidden cool thing that I can look at but never touch. So I had access to the movies, and I had access to some action figures. And I remember being so excited that I carried around in a backpack that I wore everywhere the original trilogy on VHS. And I remember that I accidentally broke Empire Strikes Back. And I had like... It was like the most upset I had ever been at that point up until my life by like a thing. And was that big of a deal that I can remember it to this day, despite being like, God, I must have been like 4. It was not pretty. So that gives you any idea where I was coming from. But then like you get older and you start to re-examine these things, and it's so fucking dumb. Some of the games are fun. I do earnestly believe if you're going to keep doing it, if you have to make more movies, just get rid of the timeline. The universe stuff is kind of cool, but at this point, just like by proximity, I'm fucking sick to death of it. Sorry, that's my whole ramble out of the way.
I would not even be that gracious. Like the people are like, oh well, you're sick of the Jedi, right? Then go look at this other thing. It's got this guy, and he does racing and smuggling, and he shoots laser blaster, and well, what's it about?
Oh,
like, no, don't tell me the plot. Don't tell me the plot. Don't tell me the plot. What's it about?
Oh god, he's probably getting some secret plans of the Death Star. That's always what it is. It's always related to the fucking story as it exists. It's too scared to step out of its own goddamn age it's built for itself. And it's suffocating itself. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I get so angry. It's always tied into this fucking story as it exists now. I'm sick of the setting.
I'm just saying that it's no wonder that Disney bought it, because it's exactly as much of the sugary, shallow pablum that they've been dealing with for 100 years.
And people say that Disney made it like that. Nah, they didn't. George Lucas was perhaps even more aggressive of a marketer than Disney ever was. See also the Jar Jar tongue.
And we make jokes here, like, there are some Lucasisms that I'm very willing to repeat and laugh at.
It's like poetry, it rhymes, it's great, I use it constantly.
And I want to make it clear that it is not coming from a place of respect. That is full-throated mocking this individual. I think he's a fool and a charlatan and a cad, and he has no taste, and his shirts are dumb.
I'm so thrilled to hear that you have a top like that, Val. That sounds fucking rad. It's operating on a few levels of irony, presumably. It's Watto shirt. That's really cool. I'll give you full points on that.
We are back from the ad.
An ad for Star Wars.
Oh, God. Ugh.
Can you believe? I believe it was... Hang on, I look at the box office numbers. I think whose turn is it to read anyway?
It's my turn.
Just checking something out. Yeah, Amazing Digital Circus apparently completely demolished Mandalorian and Grogu, the inexplicable, unadvertised Star Wars movie that came out opening weekend. The Amazing Digital Circus did like 10 times more. I think that tells us that people are more sick of Star Wars at this point. If some indie
Where
animated
is your
film...
wisdom and power now, your majesty? Growled Grignir.
Majesty, that's a good word.
The prince went rigid. Wink, as Grignir discerned him glazing over his shoulder. I didn't mispronounce that. It says glazing.
That's now he has the job of the counselor.
He swallived to note the cause of the noble's attention, raised his sword over his head, and prepared to leash a vicious, downward cleft, but fell short.
Indeed.
Damn it. Go ahead.
The prince went rigid as Grignir discerned him glazing over his shoulder. He swived to note the cause of the noble's attention, raised his sword over his head, and prepared to leash a vicious downward left.
I'll give it to you. You tried.
But fell short as the haft of a steel-rimed pike clashed against his
done. I thought that would get you for sure.
unguarded skull. Then blackness and solitude, silence and shrouding, and ever peaceful reigned supreme. Before me, sirrah, before me as always. Ha ha ha! Nobly cackled.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm not going to take it from you, but I demand you do the laugh again. You did miss one.
Before me, sirrah, before me as always. Ha ha ha! Ha! Nobly cackled. I'm surprised they can spell consciousness correct. But like,
I'm really excited to, for you to say this made-up word. I want to know how you go with this.
I've only read the first word of that paragraph. I'm pretty good at like not looking forward. Consciousness returned to Grignir in the stigmatic pools as his mind gradually cleared of the cobwebs cluttering its inner recesses. Yet the Stygian cloud of charcoal ebony remained, an incompatible shield of blackness, enhanced by the bleak absence of sound.
Absence.
It's a weird way to write that, but I get what they're going for. Let's crank on down.
It's leaking pus like a scabbed over wound. Absence.
This is a long paragraph.
Well, you could just give it up, and I'll polish my knuckles on my shirt here.
Not a chance. It's like perfect. Grignir's muddled brain reeled from the shock of the blow he had received to the base of his skull. The events leading to this... Fuck! Immediately! God damn it. Alright. Go for it.
Alright. All you have to do is make it 2 sentences and I beat your record. Grignir's muddled brain reeled from the shock of the blow he had received to the base of his skull. The events leading to his predicament were slow to filter back to him. Nailed it! He dickered with the notion that he was dead, and had descended, or sunk, however it may be, to the shadowed land beyond the aperture of the grave, but rejected this hypothesis when his memory sifted back within his grips. This
I'll
was
take it.
not the land of the dead. It was something infinitely more the precarious than anything the grave could offer. Death promised an infinity of peace, not the finite misery of an inactive life, of confined torture, forever concealed from the life-bearing shafts of the beloved rising sun.
Life-bearing shaft. This is like, see, the pipes are upright. It's just, it's.
He can't help himself.
Here's the thing, right?
I hope he awoke to himself after this. Like,
I have like a bunch of, and this is maybe a spoiler for a project I've worked on a little bit. I have a bunch of like 80s NES games, right? Where what I collect specifically is like medieval scenes, right? I have a whole reason for it, but specifically it's medieval scenes. I have a lot of games that have like a half-naked barbarian on the front, right? Some of them are just straight up traces of like Arnold from back in the day.
Yeah.
So this is the thing, right? Whether or not they really could like understand or reckon with this old like Conan the Barbarian imagery that we see on like old sci-fi and old fantasy novels is really homoerotic. Like really homoerotic. And that's fine. But I'm wondering if it's so the themes have apparently subconsciously rubbed off on him. You see what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I just find that very interesting. Where he is subconsciously, texturally imitating the themes that make up the whole, what's the word?
There's a current of extreme misogyny that manifests as blatant and effusive homoeroticism. Absolutely, 100%.
I'm glad that we can all agree on this. It's just, yeah, it's.
Can I talk about the orb?
Orb?
I'm dying to talk about the orb.
Please do.
The orb that had been before taken for granted, yet now cherished above all else, to be forever refused further glimpses of the snow-capped summits of the land of his birth, never again to witness the thrill of plundering unexplored lands beyond the crest of a bleeding horizon, and perhaps worst of all, the denial to ever again encompass the lustful excitement of caressing the naked curves of the body of a trim, yound wench.
Yound. Yeah, that goes in the document.
You're right to say so, Val. This was indeed one of the buried chasms of hell, concealed within the inner depths of the palace's despised interior. A fearful ebony chamber, devised to drive to the brinks of insanity the minds of the unfortunately condemned, through the inapt solitude of a limbo of listless, dreary silence. A tightly rung elliptical circle or torches
Hold on.
cast their wavering shafts.
Can't be. Elliptical circle.
Yeah,
a
right?
square rectangle. Okay. Alright. Elliptical circle.
A tightly rung rectangular square, or torches, cast their wavering shafts prancing morbidly over the smooth surface of a rectangular. Assuming you're gonna be upset with me, but I am honest to God seeing MDGED, midged altar.
I'm looking at it right now. I could see why you would see it that way. I'll
I'm
send
zoomed,
you.
buddy.
I'm gonna send you another.
They're connected. There's a hump there.
Just so that we're on the same page, I'll send you another screen grab. I'll give you points on it. I think it could go either way. So yeah, I'll give you full points.
Expertly chiseled. Oh, good God. Look at that. Blissful. We're away from the bleeding light barreling into my brain. Forms of grotesque gargoyles grace the oblique rim, protubrating, that's what it says, the length of the grim orifice of death. Huh?
It's grim.
Now we're into Yonic imagery.
Orifices are grim, though, whereas the pike is proud and upright.
Yeah. The blissful remembrances of the rising sun.
There's a lot here that we could... I think we could unpack this for a while. I just think it's very
Staring
interesting.
forever ahead into nothingness in complete ignorance of the bloody rites enacted in their presence. Brown, flaking stains decorated the golden surface of the ridge surrounding the altar. Almost got me, didn't though. Which banked to a small slit, at the lower right-hand corner of the altar. The slit stood above a crudely pounded pail.
It's just...
which had several silver mesh chalices hanging at its sides. It's just right there.
Hold on, how does
We don't even have to try.
Banked to a small slit. The slit stood up... How does... It's like the hole stood above. How do you manage that?
You try real hard. Dangling at the pail, which had several silver mesh chalices hanging at its sides. Oh, that was my dyslexia. Does that count? It's tilted, and I went back to the other line.
I'll have you start, but you have to start at the slit.
Okay. The slit stood above a crudely pounded
Because
pail,
it's so
which
dumb.
had
How does
several
it stand
silver
up?
meshes.
Fuck. Okay, sorry. It actually bugs me. Okay.
Mesh chalices hanging at its sides, dangling at the rim off golden fuck. Not my golden. Go ahead. That was earned.
Let's see. I start at the top of the blue, or did I go back to the
No, I
flashbang?
will give you grace. The slit. Go ahead. The slit.
The slit stood above a crudely pounded pail, which had several silver meshed chalices hanging at its sides, dangling at the rim of a golden mallet, the handle of which was engraved with images of twisted faces and groved at its far end with slots designed for a snug hand grip. The head of the mallet was slightly larger than a clenched fish. Clenched fish. That's what I get for it. I've only had a teeny bit of soju, too. Go on.
The slit stood above a crudely pounded... Not pounded, fuck, go ahead.
The slit stood above a crudely pounded pail, which had several silver meshed chalices hanging at its sides, dangling at the rim of golden mallet, the handle of which was engraved with images of twisted faces and groved at its far end with slots designed for a snug hand grip. The head of the mallet was slightly larger than a clenched fist and shaped into a smooth oval mass. Encircling the marble altar was a congregation of leering shaman. Okay, cool.
No, come on.
I'll fight you on this. You say shaman. I've always said shaman.
No,
Always.
but it's not spelled like that word, is it? Shaman.
I will restart it to read it your way, but I read it how I would always read that word. Also, shaman.
Shaman or shaman is spelled S-H-A-M-A-N. It is a corruption of a loanword.
Shaman.
I would
fair.
allow you to say shaman or shaman. But
I'm
this is
sticking
shaman.
with shaman. Okay. You know what? For the experience, Encircling the marble altar was a congregation of leering shaman. Eerie chants of a bygone age, originating unknown eons before the memory of man, were being uttered from the buried recesses of the acolytes' deep lings. Orange paint was smeared in generous globules over the top of the priest's wrinkled, shaven scalp.
Nah, hold on. I have to knock you again. Globules over the tops, plural.
And I did do scalps. I cheated on scalps, so it's fair. You can take it.
Encircling the marble altar was a congregation of leering shaman. Eerie chants of a bygone age, originating unknown eons before the memory of man, were being uttered with the buried recesses of the acolytes' deep lings. Orange paint was smeared in generous globules over the tops of priests' wrinkled, shaven scalps, while golden rings projected from the lobes of their pink ears. Not pale red, these were unmanly men.
Yeah, we got more of the weird baby men.
Ornate robes of Lucior, purple satin.
Hang on, can I try pronouncing that? Lucior. I like that. That's a good word. I'm adding that to the list.
Bulging torsos. Attached around their waists with silvered silk lashes, latched with ebony buckles in the shape of morose, misshapen skulls. Dangling around their necks. I know it's a word, but come on, you went over that 5 times. Oval fashioned medallions held by thin gold chains, featured in their centers blood-red rubis, which resembled crimson fetish eyeballs. Couchant, their bare feet were plush red felt slippers with pointed golden spikes, projected...
You also said cushioned, not cushioning.
Okay. Yep. All right, go ahead.
What do you want me to start? Top? I'll just do top. Encircling unless you want somewhere else. I'll take it.
Go with ornate robes just so we can go on with this.
Yes, ornate robes. Ornate robes of Le Choix purple satin enclosed their bulging torsos, attached around their waists with silvered links. Fuck, piece of shit. Link, silk. Fuck, piece of shit. Damn it. Go for it.
Ornate robes of Le Choix purple satin enclosed their bulging torsos, attached around their waists with silvered silk lashes latched with ebony buckles in the shape of morose, misshaped skulls. Are you stopping me? Did I do something wrong?
I'll call it fine. Mostly, I'm just silver silk lashes. It's kind of tough to say. Silver silk lashes latched.
Latched with ebony buckles. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, do
Dangling
go on.
Around their necks were oval fashioned medallions held by thin gold chains, featuring in their centers blood-red rubis, which resembled crimson fetish eyeballs. Cushioning their bare feet were plush red felt slippers with pointed golden spikes projecting from their tips.
All right.
Situated in front of the altar. Yeah, I did say that right.
You did.
And directly adjacent to the copper pail was a massive jade idol, a misshaped, hideous bust of the shaman's pagan deity. The shimmering green idol was placed in a sitting posture on an ornately carved... Are you going to get away with that? That was my accent, but I think it's fair.
No, I'll give it to you.
On an ornately... Okay. Carved golden throne raised upon a... I don't think you can ping me for this. Ronde. Divery plated dais.
I'll give it to you.
Its bulging arms and webbed hands You fuck. Alright, you got me.
Situated in front of the altar and directly adjacent to the copper pail was a massive jade idol, a misshaped, hideous bust of the shaman's pagan deity?
We both know it's not said like that, but we've been goofing up like so many of these typos that I feel like that's permissible. We're being a little silly with it. Go ahead.
The shimmering green idol was placed in a sitting posture on an ornately carved golden throne raised upon a ronde d'Ivory-plated dais. Its bulging arms and webbed hands.
No, I gotta ding you
resting-
for it. Because
What?
that's where you made me laugh. It's bulging.
Yeah,
It's bulging arms.
It's bulging! Yep, you're right. Go for it.
Situated in front of the altar and directly adjacent to the copper pail was a massive jade idol, a misshaped, hideous bust of the shaman's pagan deity.
Gotta look it up.
The shimmering green idol was placed in a sitting posture on an ornately carved golden throne, raised upon a round, ivory-plated dais. Its bulging arms and webbed hands resting on the padded arms of the seat. Its head was entwined in golden snake-like coils hanging over its oblong ears, which tapered off to thin hollow points. Its nose was a bulging triangular mass, sunken in at its sides with toe-gaping nostrils. Dramatic beneath the nostrils was a twisted, shaggy-lipped mouth, giving the impression of a slavering, sadistic grimace.
I cannot picture what this idol looks like at all.
I think he's trying to do like a Cthulhu thing, which is like a bunch of icky words.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
At the foot of the heathen deity, a slender, pale-faced female, naked but for a golden jeweled harness enshrouding her huge outcropping breasts.
Oh, that's where the harness is. Okay, never mind.
Supporting long silver laces, which extended to her thigh, stood
Hold-
before the
on.
pearl-white field.
So she has some sort of titty harness. No pants or anything. Okay, cool. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So they've taken a bunch of like threads and attached them to the titty harness that hang then all the way down. Really what they're describing is an ornate skirt pulled way too high up.
I don't even think it's that. It's a jeweled harness enshrouding her huge outcropping breasts. So they're like titty socks, but without the fabric in between the ribbing. And then there's silver laces that go down to the thigh, but they're not attached to anything, so they're just dangling.
So it's a bad skirt.
It's not a skirt at all. It's like a weird bondage thing, but it's not going all the way with it.
It seems like it's missed a step somewhere for it to seem remotely sexy. It just seems more confusing and like...
I hate the outcropping there. Outcropping?
Yeah, like a cliff.
Like the overhang of a cliff?
Yeah, over a beach. Or something. It's missed a step somewhere for it to be hot, and it just seems like impractical.
Stood before the pearl-white field with noticeable shivers traveling up and down the length of her exquisite...
Points.
Okay.
Exquisity
body.
is correct.
Her delicate lips trembled beneath soft, narrow hands as she
Narrow.
attempted... I know, not what I think of, but fine, sure. To conceal herself. Fuck. Right at the end. Go ahead.
What did you do wrong? Conceal herself.
I didn't say from. I was going for before. Go ahead.
At the foot of the heathen deity, a slender, pale-faced female, naked but for a golden jeweled harness enshrouding her huge, outcropping breasts, supporting long silver laces, which
Her
extended.
Huge, outcropping breasts.
Are the breasts supporting the laces or the harness?
The harness ain't doing shit, brother.
Extended to her thigh, stood before the pearl-white field, with noticeable shivers traveling up and down the length of her exquisitely molded body. Her delicate lips...
I do want to point out that both of us might have missaid that word before shivers. There's no E there, so the C is not soft. That is noticable. But both of us said it the right way. So, I allow you to pass.
With noticable shivers traveling up and down the length of her exquisitely molded body. Her delicate lips trembled beneath soft, narrow hands as she attempted to conceal herself from
I have to thank you for that because I passed this one.
As she attempted.
No T.
Fuck.
Attempted.
All right. Starting at wherever, so that you have to say noticable, just because it's a good word.
Okay. Supporting long silver laces was extended to her thigh, stood before the pearl-white field with noticeable shivers traveling up and down the length of her exquisitity.
Exquisitity.
Exquisitity. Go ahead, take it.
Stood before the pearl-white field with noticable shivers traveling up and down the length of her exquisitely molded body. Her delicate lips trembled beneath soft, narrow hands as she attempted to conceal herself from the piercing stare of the ambivalent idol.
Well done. Checkpoint.
Let's see. Oh, fuck, that is a long paragraph. Let me just shuffle my screen on down. There we go. All knowledge of measuring time had escaped Grignir when a person...
What? Hold on. No, you skipped an entire paragraph.
Did I? Fuck,
yeah.
You're right. No, I dropped my viewer too far down. There we go. Good catch, thank you. Glaring directly down towards her was the stony, cycloptic face of the bloated deity, gaping from its single...
I knew this bitch was reading Lovecraft. Nobody fucking used cycloptic instead.
Also, is it cycloptic or is it cyclopean?
It's cyclopean, as in a very big thing. Cycloptic would be, it has one eye.
Which, I'm not going to go back up to the mess that was the description of the deity.
I'll do it.
It should be deity, but I'm pronouncing it deity because they have the I and the E transposed. The bloated deity, gaping from its single obling socket, the scintillating, many-faceted, like a
That's
sink.
what it says. Go ahead.
Scarlet emerald. It's a brilliant gem, seeing to possess a life all of its own. A priceless, flaming stone. I put a little sauce on it because that character next to the E is a little bit unclear. I figured just sauce it up.
That is very clearly an A next to brilliant gem, but you are so proud of yourself that I'm letting you have it.
Is it an A? Yeah,
it is
an A.
So clearly an A.
All right, take it.
I said I was letting you have it.
I'd like to hear how you do it. Go for it. Go for it, Chief.
All right.
You do
Glaring
better.
directly down towards her was the stony, cycloptic face of the bloated deity, Gaping from its single oblong socket was scintillating, many-faceted scarlet emerald, a brilliant gem seeming to possess a life all of its own, a priceless, gleaming stone, capable of domineering the wealth of conquering empires. The Eye of Argon.
There we go.
All
Title drop. Woo.
All knowledge of measuring time had escaped Grignir. When a person is deprived of the moon, sun, and stars, he loses all conception of time as he had previously understood it. It seemed as if years had passed, if time was being measured by terms of misery and mental anguish. Yet he estimated that his stay had only been a few days in length. He has slept 3 times and had been fed 5 times since his awakening in the crypt. However, when the actions of a body are restricted, its needs are also affected. The need for nourishment and slumber are directly proportional to the functions the body has performed, meaning that when free and active, Grignir may become hungry every 6 hours and witness the desire for sleep every 15 hours, whereas in his present condition he may encounter the need for food every 10 hours and the want for rest every 20 hours.
That doesn't seem right.
What a deranged way to say that.
It's like, I know that I've done fuck all during a day or been incredibly
and
active.
I still get hungry at pretty regular intervals.
Maybe it's just my unique condition, but days where I'm hyperactive are frequently days when I experience far less rest. And the inverse is also true. It seems to speak to maybe a lack of, like, broader life experience. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All methods he had before depended upon. I know the ink isn't there, but I see the impression of the P upon the page, so it's upon. Were extinct in the dismal pit. Hence, he may have been imprisoned for 10 minutes or 10 years, he did not know, resulting in a disheartened emotion deep within his being.
Well,
Some might call it being disheartened.
He does know that it hasn't been 10 years on account of the 5 lunches.
No, he was going 2 years between lunches because he was just so bored.
Maybe it was like a big Scooby-Doo sized sandwich.
Mm-hmm. It was taking up his entire, like, esophagus, his stomach, all the way through his colon, and the whole thing just had to churn and burn.
2 years of churning and burning.
Huh. Interesting, Val. The food, if you can honor the moldering lumps of fetid mush to that extent, was borne to him by 2 guards who opened
Wrong
a
form
portal
of
at the
born.
top of his, enclosure and shoved it to him in wooden bowls, retrieving the food and water
hold on.
bowels.
So, the hole is in the top of his enclosure, and they are shoving down a bowl. So it was like one of them, like, holding the other while they, like, halfway suspended down. You try shoving a bowl downwards full of, like, liquid and food. It's you might shove a bowl under a door, and that makes sense.
What if I'm really good at my job and I let it leave the bowl and my trajectory is so perfect that gravity brings it right back into the bowl again?
That's why you got the job. That was, like, what you demonstrated during your job interview. Like, holy shit, we've been wasting so much food.
I stood up at the desk and I was like, watch this. I've been practicing.
Guard of the year every year.
It scared my interviewer. It scared him. He thought it was magic. Nah, bud. That's juggling.
Skills to pay the bills. Alright, do go on.
Retrieving the food and water bowels from his previous... Fuck. That counts as a laugh. I'm counting that as a laugh. I interrupted myself.
The food, if you can honor the moldering lumps of fetid mush to that extent, was borne to him by 2 guards who opened a portal at the top of his enclosure and shoved it to him in wooden bowls, retrieving the food and water bowels from his previous meal at the same time. And it's at the same time they do the sweet shove downwards move, they're simultaneously grabbing the stuff up. They are doing like a sweet vertical suspended juggle.
Yeah, I think you're right though that like this requires both hands. So one of the guards' jobs is to just grab the other dude by the ankles and he dangles down there Mission Impossible style.
After which they threw back the bolts on the iron latch and returned to their other duties. Well, Grignir couldn't possibly know what his other duties are. Since deprived of all other means of nourishment, Grignir was impelled to eat the tainted slop in order to ward off the pangs of starvation. Though, as he stuffed it into his mouth with his filthy fingers and struggled to force it down his throat, he imagined it was that which he had been spurned by the hound stationed at... What? It was...
He imagined it was that which had been spurned, not he had been spurned.
Did I say he? I might have said that. Okay, Fine. Take it.
The food, if you can honor the moldering lumps of fetid mush to that extent, was borne to him by 2 guards who opened a portal at the top of his enclosure and shoved it to him in wooden bowls, retrieving the food and water bowels from his previous meal at the same time. I just keep imagining them plucking his bowels out of his body like, we'll clean these. Don't even worry about it.
These are covered in water. The water bowels.
Mm-hmm.
Silly, okay.
I saved it, after which they threw back the bolts on the iron latch and returned to their other duties. Since deprived of all other means of nourishment, Grignir was impelled to eat the tainted slop in order to ward off the pangs of starvation, though as he stuffed it into his mouth with his filthy fingers and struggled to force it down his throat, he imagined it was that which had been spurned by the hounds stationed at various segments of the palace.
Grignir, that's amateur hour shit. If you, get the bowl of slop, the fetid mush, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, it's the worst. Oh, I hate it. The dogs wouldn't even eat this. That is a loser mindset, Grignir. You gotta be thinking, ooh, fetid mush for me. And then maybe you have a better go of it.
Yippee! Tainted slop.
Hashtag my mush. You know?
Yep. Never in my surface life have I ever come across such a rare and advanced comestible. I truly am blessed to be able to eat something so refined in its nature.
So
they say that wine gets better with age, and if so, this slop must be the most beautiful of cabarets.
I'm just saying, he's doing himself no favors like this. Although maybe that will drive you insane over a long enough period of time. So
He's already insane.
That's true. He's also like a chameleon. Like he can make his skin change colors and do all sorts of crazy shit.
There was little in the Bryn vault that could occupy his body or mind. He had paced out the length and width of the enclosure time and time again, and tested every granite slab which consisted the walls of the prison in hopes of finding a hidden passage to freedom. All of which was to no avail other than to keep him busy and distract his mind from wandering to thoughts of what he believed was his future. He had memorized the number of strides from one end to the other of the cell, and knew the exact number of slabs which made up the bleak dungeon. Numerous schemes were introduced and alternately discarded in turn as they succured to unravel to him no means of escape which stood the slightest chance of success. That is not how you use succor. Succor is something that gives you comfort.
Like the fetid mush.
Like the fetid mush. Anguish continued to mount as his means of occupation were rapidly exhausted. Suddenly, without... I laughed.
You did.
Without no time.
I ain't got no time. Anguish continued to mount as his means of occupation were rapidly exhausted. Suddenly, without no time, he was routed from his contemplations as he detected a faint scratching sound at the end of the crypt opposite him. The sound seemed to be caused. Fuck, no. I can't do cause. That's me throwing a D on after I fucking mispronounce it. Go for it.
Right?
Oh, fuck.
Anguish continued to mount as his means of occupation were rapidly exhausted. Suddenly, without no time, he was routed. From his contemplations.
What the fuck does that mean? It's so sudden, it doesn't even have a comma. Suddenly, without no time. God. You can really jump on your audience by removing the commas after you use the word suddenly.
I feel like it's a typo of notice. But it's two major errors. He accidentally inserts a space, and he accidentally hits the C instead of the V, right? Or the V instead of the C, rather. And he just didn't notice? Like he was in so much of a flow state.
Of course he didn't notice. He didn't even time.
Suddenly without no time.
Okay. Sorry, I'm distracted. Go ahead.
I don't know if I can do no time without cracking up at some part.
You know what? It's really good. I think we can give you that one as a freebie. Tithe this whole time. No, he ain't tithing. He ain't tithing.
Suddenly, without no time, he was routed from his contemplations as he detected a faint scratching sound at the end of the crypt opposite him. The sound seemed to be caused by something trying to scrape away at the granite blocks the floor of the enclosure consisted of. The sandy scratching of something like an animal's claws.
So, you know how you have like your various brands of construction materials? If you want the most secure dungeon, you gotta build with only granite, or the tightest fit.
I believe you. Grignr gradually groped his way to the other end of the vault, carefully feeling his way along with his hands ahead of him. When a few inches from the wall, a loud, penetrating squeal and the scampering of small padded feet reverberated from the walls of the roughly hewn chamber. Grignr threw his hands up to shield his face and flung himself backwards upon his buttocks. A fuzzy form bounded to his hairy chest, burying its talons in his flesh while gnashing towards his throat. With its grinding white teeth, its sour, fetid breath, scorching the skimming barbarian's dilating nostrils. I was cool until you laughed and then I lost it. Go ahead.
I think that you did okay. No, I got it. Grignr threw his hands up to shield his face and flung himself backwards upon his buttocks. A fuzzy form bounded to his hairy chest, burying its talons in his flesh while gnashing towards his throat with its grinding white teeth, its sour, fetid breath, scorching the squirming... Fuck, I did scorching wrong. Be scorching. Also, why did space, new line, start with a comma? Really love that move.
It's bold. Grignard threw his hands up to shield his face and flung himself backwards upon his buttocks. A fuzzy form bounded to his hairy chest, burying its talons in his flesh while gnashing towards his throat with its grinding white teeth, its sour, fetid breath scorching the skirming barbarian's dilating nostrils. Grignard grappled with the lashing flexor muscles of the repugnant body of a Garnuan, brown-hided rat. What a series of obstacles.
And you nailed it.
Striving to hold its razor teeth from his juicy jugular, as its beady gray organs of sight glazed into the flare.
No, that's on me. That's incredible. Beady gray organs of sight. What, did she run out of orb tokens? Fuck.
Yeah, it even started getting to him, so he was like, oh, something else.
Gray
I can't say eyes. I can't say eyes.
Also, this is really confusing because isn't like part of the major torture of this place that it is so pitch black that he can't see anything at all?
Yes.
How
Comma, shut up.
Yeah, okay. It's just, if you
he
really
didn't think
want
about
to...
it, why are we thinking about it?
Yeah, I guess.
He saw the statue.
No, wait, hold on. It's... He didn't see it. I kind of assumed that was maybe, like, taking place...
He saw the Eye of Argon.
Sort of assumed it was, like, in medias res, that line was happening elsewhere. It threw me off that much.
I'm going back.
Yeah, it's like chapter 3.5 or something. It says 3, 1/2.
Holy shit, I think you're actually right. This part, 3.5, does not reference Grignir at all. Not once. We just got yanked to a different perspective. Okay, sure. Back to yellow. I kind of forgot where we are.
The very
we're right at the
bottom
end. As its beady gray organs of sight glazed into the flaring emeralds of its prey.
That is perhaps the most... Like, if words could be encumbering in trying to, like, explain something to somebody, that sentence is over-encumbered. The whole thing, from, where does it start? Grignir grappled. This whole sentence for the last paragraph of page 34, it's outstanding. Gargantuan, brown-hided. He knows what color it and its teeth are, despite it being dark. We have dueling depictions of eyes, beady gray organs of sight versus flaring emeralds. It's borderline artistic. Like, if you tried to... I don't know if the author's alive or dead. I hope if they're around, they're doing well.
He's dead.
Well...
Sorry, spoilers, everyone. He's dead.
Well, in any case, they did a bad fucking job, and I hope they got better at writing down the road.
By all accounts, yeah, he did. And he didn't really keep writing that much, but he did get better than this, for sure. To
be fair, the bar was in hell.
Taking hold of the rodent around its lean, growling stomach with both hands, Grignir pried it from his crimson-rent breast, removing small patches of flayed flesh from his chest in the motion between the squalid, black claws of the starving beast. Holding the rodent at arm's length, he cupped his right hand over its frothing face, contracting his fingers into a vice-like fist over the quivering head. Retaining his grips on the rat, lowercase Grickner flexed his outstretched arms while slowly twisting his right hand clockwise and his left hand counterclockwise motion, opening it like a bottle of soda.
My favorite flavor. They got all those new Pepsi flavors. They got Pepsi probiotic flavor that I've been seeing around recently. This was the discarded flavor.
Pepsi Crystal.
Pepsi
Brown Hide.
We got Pepsi Brown Hide, which they later renamed it to Pepsi Foul Rat, but it still didn't go any better with the testing team. They had a little bit of success with Pepsi New Cherry, but the flavor.
The rodent let out a tortured squall.
That's a wind, folks.
That's a wind. Drawing scarlet as it violently dug its foam-flecked fangs into the barbarian's sweating palm, causing his face to contort to an ugly grimace as he cursed beneath his breath.
Okay, so here's one of the things, right? I was originally getting like much more grim with this, but this also speaks to another level of lack of worldly experience. If you have like a horrible beast you're trying to kill, slowly putting your whole hand over one of its most sharp organs, and like then slowly twisting, that's no good. I don't know if you've ever had to like shake like a furious toddler off your leg, but you don't like gently insert your thumb.
Weirdly, yes, I have.
It's you don't want to like put your meaty palm directly over its short, sharp toddler teeth, right? You do like a quick flick with your leg to fling the toddler from you. None of this like palm it to push it away from you. You know what I mean? I don't know why I went to toddler. You get my meaning, right? You're gonna get hurt more. Just do a fling. Just take the rat and just flick it at the wall of the cell. Don't like feed it your palm.
Real life experience. You're right. Real life experience though. To get an enraged toddler off my leg, what I did was I pinched its nose closed, and it became so confused that it's just sort of like slackened.
That's good. That's really good. Like, they wouldn't know what to do. You're like, excuse me? I didn't know you could do that. That's a new defense that is... Fuck, it might work against me if I'm like in some sort of a fight, and then the person who is trying to like steal, presumably, like my really cool sunglasses, just does like an I got your nose motion, but keeps my nose shut, I would be stun locked. That's really good.
Keep him guessing. I couldn't even tell you. It wasn't a conscious.
No, it's good too.
It was
because,
happening,
like,
and I was like, well, I can't hurt it, right?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's the thing. Like when you're taking care of like younger humans, you don't want to hurt it. Like I don't literally fling toddlers from my body at the nearest wall at such force that they're gonna like crack open like a can of goddamn like jellied cranberries. No, I'm just saying, what he's doing is not the move for like not getting bit. That's the move for getting bit a ton.
Yeah. You get clawed at, you get chewed at. It's like, what is your plan?
Well,
And on top of that, this slowly rotating, it's like, what the fuck are we doing? Are you torturing it? Are you trying to, like, fool it into thinking you're not going to rend its head off? Like, what are we... Why?
it's also not really how you wring the neck of an animal. It's because if you just keep reading.
Torture squall, Brayeth. With a loud crack, the rodent's head parted from its squirming torso, sending out a sprinkling shower of crimson gore, and trailing a slimy string of disjointed vertebrae, snapped trachea. I feel like he didn't spell that correctly, but I can't be sure because there's so much. Yeah, okay. Esophagus and jugular, disjointed hyoid bone. He knew what a hyoid bone was.
Yeah, and he can see so well in the dark.
The 16-year-old knew what a hyoid was.
He can identify by sight the hyoid bone on this tiny rat.
It's not like, maybe I'm underestimating the average person, but I feel like most people do not know about the hyoid bone.
So here's what happened. He opened up an anatomy textbook to make sure that he used the right word, and then he just saw oh,
there's a bunch of stuff in here.
Yeah, I better list all of it to show how gory and violent and cool it is. The trachea is snapped, the esophagus and the jugular and the hyoid bone are there. Check it out. I know what that is. No, it's
great that the jugular was snapped, but the carotid is perfectly intact. You're really worried if you lose your carotid arteries. Jugular vein is gone, but you know.
Val, you've made it. You've hit the nail on the head. He was in honors bio, and he's gonna make it everyone's problem. And again,
Val, I'm trying not to laugh. Stop being funny at me.
If you're
Morose,
go for it.
Morose purpled stretched hide and blood-seared muscles. Now see it.
If you're gonna wring the neck of a small animal, it's like a little flick. You whip the whole body around. What he's done is unnecessarily violent and impractical. Essentially, it sounds like he shucked the rat like a fucking corn. This is not.
Yeah.
He shucked the rat. Why? Now you can't.
I'm
even
doing
really...
the motion, and like shucking is way faster. But I'm doing the motion in my. And there's.
He slow
I have no other
it.
explanation for it. He slow shucked it. He slow shucked the rat.
The ultimate strategy: slow shuck your enemy. Oh, it's fucked. It's dumb. It's very funny though. Continue. You haven't laughed yet. You're on quite a tear here.
Flinging the broken body to the floor, Grignr shook his blood-streaked hands and wiped them against his thigh until dry.
Yeah.
Then,
when I get out of the shower, I just take my whole wet body and I slap my tummy until my hands are dry, and then I rub the various, like my thigh until it's dry. Just like meat on meat is the best way to dry off. It's silly. Are we to presume that the author doesn't know how to dry off? Or alternately, it is blood, so it's a little bit more like gooey and gummy. Then he's just like smearing himself in blood. No option makes sense or is good.
And wiped the blood that had showered his face and from his eyes. Again, sitting himself upon the jagged floor, he prepared to once more revamp his glum meditations. He told himself that as long as he still breathed, the gust of life through his lungs, hope was not lost. He told himself this, but found it... I ruined it for myself. Go ahead.
Flinging the broken body to the floor, Grignr shook his blood-streaked hands and wiped them against his thigh until dry. Then wiped the blood that had showered his face and from his eyes. Again, Sitting himself upon the jagged floor, he prepared to once more revamp his glum meditations. He told himself that as long as he still breathed the gust of life through his lungs, hope was not lost. He told himself this, but found it hard to comprehend in his gloomy surroundings. Yet he was still alive, his bulging sinews at their peak of marvel, his struggling mind floating in a myral of impressed excellence of thought.
Oh, I'm impressed.
I'm going to read this as Plot. After Plot sifted through his mind in an energetic contemplations.
Hold on.
It's
Sorry,
supposed to be...
I hate to do this because of the last few letters. Hot. After Plot sifted through his mind in energetic contemplations. Not in an energetic contemplations.
Ah, okay, I thought you were gonna get on my case for, like, interpreting the weird thing as a big H.
That's fine.
Right.
I think I can see the impression of the P there, but it's interpretable. I agree.
Then
But you added a word to make it easier to read.
That's fair. Take it from Glum Meditations.
Oh shit, where is Glum Meditations? Huh? Revamp his Glum Meditations. He told himself that as long as he still breathed the gust of life through his lungs, hope was not lost. He told himself this and found it hard to comprehend in his gloomy surroundings.
You did it too. And found it hard?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He told himself that as long as he still breathed the gust of life through his lungs, hope was not lost. He told himself this, but found it hard to comprehend in his gloomy surroundings. Yet he was still alive, his bulging sinews at their peak of marvel, his struggling mind floating in a myral of impressed excellence of thought.
So excellent.
After Plot sifted through his mind in energetic contemplations. And it hit him.
Ooh.
Minutes may have passed in silent thought or daze. He could not tell, but he stumbled at last upon a plan that he considered as holding a slight margin of plausibility. He might die in the attempt, but he knew he would not submit without a final bloody struggle. It was not a foolproof plan, yet it built up a store of renewed vortexed energy in his overwrought soul.
It's not wrong, but I want you to make sure that has no spaces when you say that.
Let me try it again. Overwrought soul.
Good enough.
The TS is really hard to enunciate, so I just
Overwrought
slur
soul.
it. Though he might perish in the execution of... He might die in the attempt. He might perish in the execution of the escape. Okay,
What's the thesaurus for that one?
He just said the same thing, but he, like, gave it a bit of zhuzh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fuck.
He might die in the attempt, or he might perish in the execution of the escape.
Fuck. Ugh, take it.
Then, it hit him.
Ugh. That's
Good
the sound
try.
it makes.
Minutes may have passed in silent thought or days, he could not tell, but he stumbled at last upon a plan that he considered as holding a slight margin of plausibility. He might die in the attempt, but he knew he would not submit without a final bloody struggle. It was not a foolproof plan, yet it built up a store... I can do it. Of renewed vortexed energy.
What noise does vortexed energy? That sounds like an energy drink, doesn't it?
Yeah, do you remember that old internet meme, the video where it was like, energy, energy. Do you remember?
It rings a bell, but I couldn't place it.
There's a possibility he will expire in the process of his abscondment. Well done, Val. Power blast, that was it. Oh my god, thank you, Val. They did a couple more of those, and none of them were as funny as the first one. Ain't it always the way? A store of renewed vortex energy in its overvessel. Though he might perish in the execution of the escape, he would still be escaping the life of infinite torture in store for him. Either way, he would still cheat the gloating prince of the secured revenge his sadistic mind craved so dearly. Again, not what that word means, kid. The guards would soon come to bear him off to the prince's buried mines of dread, giving him the sought-after opportunity to execute his newly formulated plan.
Okay, so two
Groping
problems.
his way...
One, why not just grab the guards when they're handing him the bowl? And two, isn't the torture waiting until he is, like, physically weak and losing his mind until they send him to the mines? And so,
Yeah,
is the attempt then just do what he did upstairs with the prince? Like, punch the guard really hard in the stomach and hope it works out? I'm just saying, I wouldn't expect, if I'm, like, doing my sweet slop drop with the bowl, to have, like, a hand reach up and grab me. That's the plan. It's silly. It's silly. I know. Me pointing out that it's silly every time it's silly is not breaking new ground. Please continue.
The guards would soon come to bear him off to the prince's buried mines of dread, giving him the sought-after opportunity to execute his newly formulated plan. Groping his way along the rough floor, Grignir finally found his tool, teehee, in a pool of congealed gore.
Groping his tool,
carcass.
You say?
Mm-hmm. Is groping his tool in a pool?
I shouldn't do that at the pool. People swim there.
The carcass of the decapitated rodent. The tool that the very filth he had been sentenced to. Spawned. When the time came for action...
The rat, the filth, was sentenced to. That rat was supposed to be a cellmate.
Almost got me. So he set himself to rending the sticky Hulk in grim silence.
Okay, wrong use of Hulk. I get what you mean. Like maybe Hulk in the sense of like a scattered frigate, right? Where it's like adrift, it's dead.
Maybe it's like a kind of a big rat.
And then use bulk. Hulk is like... Hulk either speaks to
it being
rat. A large craft or a huge thing. It's one or the other. Okay, sorry, I'm getting particular.
Didn't the rat have like... It was a gargantuan brown-hided rat, first of all.
Yeah, okay, I am maybe selling that short. That's a very vicious, large, dangerous breed of rat.
And yeah, there was something about like its muscles, right? Like it has special bulging muscle. It's lashing flexor muscles. So this is a big ass rat.
Let's do a quick test here. Go into your chat, and I'm gonna write how big I viewed the rat as, and I'll hit enter at the same time as you. So I'll say 3, 2, 1, go, and then you hit enter. So I can just see how big we viewed the rat as, without influencing the other subconsciously. All right.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, go. Okay, about the same.
All right. I think you actually imagined it slightly bigger than I did then. Because I've had some terriers. They're good, you know, space pets. They don't take up a lot of room. They take up a lot of oxygen. They give themselves jobs, which is good for self-entertainment. So there's a lot of terriers in space. And I feel like I understand the size of a terrier. And I'm thinking, like, the kind of house cat that would come from, like, the runt of a litter or whatever. So that would be a little smaller than the average terrier.
I know how big a small house cat is. Giorno is not terribly big.
Oh, we're getting hit with an ad. Sorry, folks. I wasted all my snoozes. Don't watch this. Get yourself something to drink. Get yourself a nice stretch. Don't be like us.
A nutria.
A nutria is really big.
Yeah, they're...
So you think it's like a rodent of unusual size? It's a rouse?
Yeah, it's a gargantuan brown-hided rodent of unusual size.
I guess if it is gargantuan.
Like...
Okay, I'm actually putting in gargantuan rat. No T.
Gargantuan brown-hided.
Into a search engine. Oh, right. Hold on.
Jesus Christ, you just skipped the only other descriptor we got?
Gargantuan brown-hided rat. Alright, here. Copy image. Wait, can I just slap this up on my screen? Of course I can! Why wouldn't I be able to? This is gonna look weird for a second. Oh well. Big rat. Okay. And, put that in. Sure. And then, there you go. Gargantuan brown-hided rat.
Oh, is that one of those mine-searching rats?
It is one of the mine-searching rats.
I recognize the breed. It's very handsome.
I think that's a fairly big fella that's holding that rat. So it's like about the size of his forearm, right?
I guess the only real descriptor we have of its size is the fact that that Grignr could fit his whole hand over the rat's head. Yeah, this is probably about it.
There you go, folks. A gargantuan brown-hided rat. This is the kind of content you can only get when you bypass the ads. Delete! Gone.
See, what you really need is a pointer tool like I have on my stream.
Are you talking about a mouse?
Am I exploding in confetti? Ow, that fucking hurts.
Because Stubbs talked.
Stubbs, don't do that. That hurts. And no, okay, look at my stream. I use a very distinct pointing tool.
Give me a second. I need to pull up that tab again. I'm looking. Show me your pointer.
You can
I don't
see it, right?
it.
What?
No. I'm not kidding. I don't see anything.
No, you're fucking with me.
No, I'm not. I'm looking at your stream right now. What are you indicating?
You don't... the yeek peek? The yeek poke? Please tell me that this is visible.
Now I can see it. Why was it not visible before?
I looked at my stream preview and at my Twitch stream manager preview. It was moving for me.
I mean, I can see the yeek point now.
Yeah, you gotta get a tool like that.
He is a tool.
Yeah. This is my favorite thing I've ever set up on this. For a second, I was worried that my wiggling of Alex Eek was never actually visible, and I've been doing this for my own private benefit this whole time.
Okay, we're going to go back to what we were doing. We do have to end soon, though.
That is true.
I kind of want to finish this off. So I challenge you next week to do the same shit?
Yeah, we got about halfway through, maybe. A little less. We also started late.
I think we could do it. I think we could accomplish this next week. But I want to get to the end of chapter 5 at least.
Okay. That sounds fair. Am I reading or are you reading?
No, it's me. The guards would soon come to bear him off to the prince's buried mines of dread, giving him the sought-after opportunity to execute his newly formulated plan. Groping his way along the rough floor, Grignr finally found his tool, Teehee, in a pool of congealed gore. The carcass of the decapitated rodent, the tool that the very filth he had been sentenced to, spawned. When the time came for action, he would have to be prepared, so he set himself to rending the sticky hulk in grim silence, searching by the touch of his fingertips for the lever to freedom. Is he gonna stab someone with a rat bone?
Seems like it.
I'm gonna end off the page. Up to the altar and be done with it, wench! Everyone's a fucking wench in this.
Or a slut. There might even be a whore, but it's largely wenches and sluts, yeah.
Ordered a fidgeting shaman. He actually spelled it right that time. As he gave the female... Fucking, you lost me so fast. A grim stare, accompanied by the wrinkling of his lips to a mirthful grin of delight. End page 35. So we're going to talk about the girl bursting and gasping and startling the priest, and so on and so forth. Just you wait. Just you wait. We're pretty close. We're just about half.
So are there
And
any,
next time it's gonna be even faster.
are there any like fully clothed women in this, or are they all like tits out and horny and also drinking and probably at a bar unless they're being sacrificed by a shaman?
Well, we don't know if the willing prostitutes had clothes on or not, because that wasn't described.
They were like actively having sex at the bar.
Well, yeah, but you can do that in a full-length dress.
You can, but I have a feeling that's probably not what's happening at that bar, if I had to guess. I guess I can't textually prove it, but like, you know.
I think it's more plausible that she like pulled the top of the dress down, tits out, hiked her skirts, plural, up enough for him to hilt himself, and then just let it all drop. Not controlling it.
I mean, that is, like, tactically, that does work. But again, this is like a crazy Conan, like, machismo fantasy world, right? Where it feels like everyone is barely clothed, except for the foul, disgusting fat prince. He's of course clothed because no one wants to see yucky fat man. You know what I mean? I guess my argument is not one to like practicality, but one to the soul of this type of artistry.
Maybe.
Also, probably definitely a logical fallacy in there.
It is time for me to raid out. I'm getting a little loopy, and let's pick this up next week for sure, because I'm having fun.
Yeah, this is good.
I hope that the audience is having some amount of fun too. But frankly, it's not about you today. I love you all, but it's not about you today. It's about the Eye of Argon. The ritual must be completed.
Alright, let me raid whoever may be in my chat. Over to you, as per usual. And I will bounce here. Can I say a thing I found?
Absolutely.
So, two things. One, I suspect this weekend I'll finally I'll finally be bringing Sonic Adventure to an end. But I have discovered... You remember one of our favorite movies that we watched during the movie nights? Our Drawings?
Oh, right.
Princess movie? That's in the title for some reason, inexplicably. There's no princesses in that movie. Well, I learned last night that that motherfucker made a second movie. And allegedly has a third in production.
Where's he getting money for this?
He isn't. I want you to take a quick look at... look up Kolobi Productions' Jalissa's Secret Island. And I want you... There's something up.
Kolobi Productions...
Gul.
Jalissa's... Gul. Secret Island.
I have looked everywhere for it, and I cannot find a free copy of it. Apparently, it is only available for $5 on Patreon, but the Patreon is now also for Kolobi Productions only, inexplicably in Chinese. There's some weird shit going on. I posted a thing, and he has talked at length how he's pretty pissed that he's not making money doing this, but he's only doing this last project, and then one more secret project, maybe. It's very weird. I do think he's probably doing the Unity asset store flip still, and making it on the cheap. But he also did
7 hours ago. Update, I'm currently finishing it up and it should be done within the next month. I'm adding that final polish and making sure everything is ready.
It's 7 hours ago. Where the fuck you seen this?
Under Jalissa's Hidden Island, please support my indie animation project. A video uploaded 1 year ago by Kolobi Productions. Pinned by Kolobi. 7 hours ago. Update, I'm currently finishing it up and it should be done within the next month.
I know
I've
why
also
that's there.
I've also decided that when it's fully released, it will be available to watch for free.
Okay, well, what if I kind of want to see it in its shitty form before it's finished? But also, I should give it, like, more credit. No, I think fuck, now I have to reconsider this whole thing. There's a reason that update happened. There's a certain YouTube channel that I super enjoy, which is how I discovered that there was a second movie being made, although they posited it as already finished. And it sounds like Kolobi probably got word of them de facto shit-talking it, given the context. And he almost certainly updated that video, because when I looked at this last night, at about 3 a.m. my time, or maybe a little bit later, whatever, it doesn't matter. That was not there. So that's in response to the recent stuff. That's very interesting. It's one of those things where I've gone off completely on a ramble at this point. I'm so sorry, but when I like looking at the weird shit out there, I think like engaging with them is not the right move, like directly shit-talking them, because that's going to make them change their art that you're here to see. Not crazy about that. So I wonder if this will change the direction that it's going. I should probably grab a copy of it now on Patreon and compare it to the finished product to see if them metaphorically tapping the glass has caused like a severe change in direction. Interesting. Interesting. A lot to consider there. Okay, I'm so sorry. I've rambled enough. Let me raid out to you. In any case, new movie night and shit coming out soon. But maybe a month from now instead now. Damn it. And... alright. See ya.
Bye. Hang up. Whoa, is that the Visual Indigo? B! It's really great to have you. Unfortunately, we're on our way out.
How much are you paying this guy?
You missed a very interesting and unique night, I think. For those of you who are not following Dindigar, go ahead. Why aren't you?